how did your pools go? Did you pool for Blackbeard?
I'm pulling today.
Ooh.
Oh wait, regarding what, the TM Sugo?
TM Sugo, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pulling today.
Sick.
Hopefully get a chance at Kid.
Yep.
Who's on part 2. Yeah.
I just want Izo and Kiku, man. How many multis I've done? Please, just give me Izo and Kiku.
What part are they on?
Them?
That one part 1. I did I mean, again, like it's like I don't know how you word it, but it's like I pulled Blackbeard in the 3rd multi, right? And I'm cursed with the 6-star curse because I put him in the 6-star variant again. So that's like my 8th new legend. That's a 6-star. I got so many red posters as well, which was kind of ridiculous. And like 4 of them were Queen, which is just like fuck off. But no Izo Kiku at all. Kind of getting annoyed here. But I mean, can't complain. They'll probably get outscaled in the quick team at some point, sometime, somewhere, someplace. You know who isn't in place though? It's Flame. Flame isn't even on time for episode 69 of GGP.
Unbelievable.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to episode 69 of the Good Great Perfect podcast. It's nice. There you go. The memes are out of the way. 420, 69. You know the vibes, man. But we're here for another Treasure Cruise Ep.69, you know, lined up perfectly. You know, we're almost at this is a very tangential, but we are also approaching our 3rd year anniversary of GGP. So,
damn.
Oh.
Looking forward to that at some point. I don't remember when.
We might
exactly.
6+ on the 6 multi.
We're actually gonna start. We're gonna start a new podcast. You know, the Super Tandem podcast or whatever. Just chat about this. We're gonna actually start from episode 1 again because episode 1 always gets a lot of views. But you got the usual jabronis here. You got myself. You got Knight and Todd. Flame, I don't know. He'll pop in at some point. If he doesn't, fuck him. That guy stinks anyway.
The absolute mad lad.
But we've got a lot of content to talk about today, and by content we mean units. Woo! Lots of units to chat about today. Man, we might as well not dilly dally and get right into it with Super Kizuna, versus Roger. Pretty interesting. Did you guys expect a Roger like Kizuna unit? Like I had no idea. Like I probably had no anticipation that they were gonna ever release a free-to-play Roger at all.
I kind of expected like a free-to-play Roger eventually. I'm just glad he's not like a raid. That would have been
Imagine he was like arena Roger who's pulling up like, oh my god. But with Roger, he was a Super Kizuna, so that doesn't mean, but like he had a 5+ variant as well. I mean, probably not valuable to go into the unit, but he's a pretty strong free-to-play unit as well. Like I believe he has a very high captain
4.5.
4.5.
Crazy for a free-to-play unit. And again, people like my kind of argument is like, there's not many times you're gonna use this guy as like a free-to-play captain, but I mean for things like TM, super valuable to have a unit like this that has a 4.5x captain ability.
I think this is the highest multiplier of a free-to-play captain.
I believe so. I
can't think of anyone that exceeds that, to be honest.
Legend 6+ Akainu.
Okay.
Our 3rd free-to-play legend. That's what everyone in the comments is typing, so I beat them to it anyway. But
yeah, it kind of makes sense considering we had like that free-to-play Odin earlier in the month as well.
Yeah, that I was gonna bring that up too, because I totally agree with you. I think because of the Odin, I think that there was a lot of wiggle room to be like, ooh, maybe a Roger unit will exist at some point.
It's kind of weird though, because it doesn't really have a lot of overlap with the actual units that released in the anniversary.
Correct.
So it's kind of weird, but I mean, we'll take it.
Bit quirky, but we'll take it. It's nice to have a little bit of a like to bring in a Roger, especially because like it was like its 8th anniversary, so it is like one of if not the biggest celebration of the Treasure Cruise year anyway. So it kind of makes sense to bring a Roger involved as well, which is always nice too. But Todd, what did you think of Kizuna? How did we go? What were your thoughts, opinions, concerns?
So yeah, Kizuna was pretty good, to be honest. So we performed pretty well.
Yep.
It was kind of interesting that there were quite a lot of bugs in this Kizuna.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah, man, those bugs kind of screwed up a lot of people, both for good and bad, because there were bugs that increase your damage and there were bugs that decrease your damage
by
at the same
a lot
time.
too. Let me find this bug list here real quick. So there was an issue with last tap, where it just sometimes it just didn't work.
And when we say it didn't work, like the animation still plays, it just doesn't add the damage at the end. It's weird.
And supposedly it was like a weird interaction with like Super Tandem and Last Tap being active at the same time or whatever, which kind of makes sense because like they are two kind of newer mechanic. And then the funniest part was that Kizuna was zombieable, which is mental to think about, right?
Right. And then they fixed it.
And then they fixed it, which is crazy because like I did not anticipate them to fix it at all. So the reason why Kizuna is kind of like not zombieable anymore, or like at least for the most part, is that like they've been doing this like 99 plus debuff or like buff immunities to themselves, but for some reason in this Kizuna the debuffs or their immunities were just 99 like turns. So you could, I think like I remember as Bebo posted to his like community tab, I think it was like a 4-hour run or whatever to get to do it or something. And again, I might be chatting out of my ass right now, but like I'll see if I can find it myself. But like,
isn't it revolving around like doing your turn and then in the middle of your attack you reset the game?
I think so. Something along those lines.
It counts down.
Yeah, it's like it was like a bug with the turn count and blah blah blah. 2-hour run. It was a 2-hour run. It doesn't, fuck that, it's still shit.
Hey, it's still worth it because you save so many super boss tokens.
You do, because like if you just have someone sit there for 2 hours and just constantly cycle that between people, like that's free money. You know, like it's very doable. And that's a lot of mats, and as we've seen before with the Hancock one as well, like pretty crazy on that front there. New units that released, we had a support Whitey Bay. She's pretty cool. She was actually really. I mean, all these Kizuna support units that release are always really fantastic.
They're always worth going for.
Yeah, I think like you and I are on the same sentiment line. Like, don't pull for the Kizuna rare recruits.
Yeah.
Pull for the support
at the same
unit.
time, not having the Whitebeard and the Vista this time around meant that overall we got like less super boss tokens.
Yeah.
So that is the give and take.
Yeah.
Like, do you want an easier time with the super boss itself, or do you want more super boss tokens?
Yep.
Or do you just want both and you just pull for everything?
I mean,
you can do that if you want.
If you got the gemmies to do that, by all means, right?
I wouldn't advise it. But
no, not at all. Neither would I. But
I just think, personally, the way I looked at it was I feel like the support character I'm going to be using a lot more outside of this event, rather than the Whitebeard and Vista. Yeah,
I know. I'm exact same boat as you. I think that there's so much more value in having a support unit because. And I think, like, I mean, to start name dropping more people, I mean, Carissa's very much on there's always a support to, like, figure something out, right? There's always, like, a support to solve something. I think that, like, I mean, to quickly delve into Whitey Bay, bind removal, barrier removal, and chain addition, and Perfect's easy to hit. Like, 4 incredibly fantastic buffs. And she attaches to some great units as well. Ace, Marco, Vista, and Whitebeard.
Yeah.
Like... Barrier removal is incredible, I feel like. It's one of, like, the most underrated, like, buffs, I guess you could call it.
I agree. Like, it's definitely underrated, for sure.
Especially in that super boss, like, the barriers sucked. There's, like, a 20 hit combo barrier and, like, a 3 perfect barrier or something like that. So, like, you're losing so much damage.
And it's not even, like, about utility either. Like, you can just use it as well for just a chain boost if you need it.
Yeah, 0.7 chain boost is crazy. Like,
and
so that's
if I remember correctly, Whitey Bay just activates on special launch, right? Like, it doesn't have to be a damage dealing special.
No damage dealing. Yep, 100%.
Yeah, that's so good.
Perfect, right? And it like, fantastic unit. So I think, like, I would probably lean more towards being in the camp of pulling for the support as opposed to the Kizuna rare recruits. But, I mean... time. I understand the position of being like, but if you want to go hard, having the Kizuna rare recruits means you can get way more tokens and you can do way more super boss runs. So
and it totally depends on what you're missing too. Like if you're missing like X Drake, Toki and stuff, like the Kizuna banner is probably still worth it.
Oh, big time.
If you're in that kind of
I mean, it's
situation.
Also stupid because they didn't have Toki on this Kizuna banner, which is
that was dumb.
Very frustrating for a lot of players because Toki is still an incredibly fantastic unit.
Made sense that X Drake was boosted though.
Yeah, exactly right.
With Kaido and stuff.
That's right. One other thing I wanted to note before we could go off where we placed, scaling increased again. Yeah. So we've gone from, I believe, 15% to 18% to I think 20% to 22%. I think is how the curve has gone up a little bit. And like, it made sense. Like, shout out Zmart. Zmart did like 85 billion damage per run
that man
or
had
whatever.
like max freaking Super Tandem everything. Yeah.
So it kind of made sense why the scaling increased, but at the same time, like, oh, sorry, I'm wrong. It was 15% for the first one. Then it jumped to 18%. Then it jumped to 22% with this Kizuna. So in this Kizuna, the HP capped at level 34. In the previous Super Boss Kizuna, it capped at 43. And in the first Super Boss, it capped at 51. So if you think about the cap is basically 1 trillion HP. So like you're doing a lot of runs if you really want to clear the max every time. So like it's
exponential growth, man. That's crazy. But when you're dealing with billions of damage, like 18% of like billions, it's so much.
It just adds up very quickly.
Yeah.
So I'm not a fan of this constant increase, but
when you really think about it, though, the fact that Super Tandem does so much extra damage, it makes sense why the scaling did get increased. But at the same time, it's like not everyone is going to have everything maxed.
No one is going to have.
Yeah.
Like, because what is Kaido's? Kaido's is like what 1.75 or is it 1.5 damage buff or whatever it is for the Super Tandem?
He does. Yeah, he makes the increased damage taken go from 1.5 to 2.25,
which is an increase, which is
a
huge
striker attack
increase.
Yeah,
which is like that's a 75% increase in like damage output already, which is mental.
Kaido's a freaking monster, dude. He's so good. I love him.
So like, yeah, like it makes sense, but I think that we're also back into this problem where like we're not thinking about everyone again. We're thinking about the super endgame player for Super Boss, which is fine.
That's true, I guess. I mean, it is Super Boss at the end of the day. Like,
yeah, correct.
You know, little Timmy at pirate level 300 is not going to be doing 1 billion damage. Well,
unless he is a modder, which I'm going to give credit where credit's due. Bandai did their thing this time, and hats off to them. They slaughtered a lot of teams this time around. What was our placing before? We jumped from like 75th to
75th
to 12th. Which is
Jesus.
Which is
which and that's makes just the top 100.
Exactly. That makes you think like how many people were cheating from 75. Like there's like 63 teams were caught out cheating then.
Yeah, there was some teams above the top 100 that went down to like in the 30s. It was crazy.
It was meant. I think Shiro's team or like the Broski Discord, they jumped from like 125 to like 30th or something like that. So like that's a incredible leap when you think about it, right? But I mean, like, you know, credit where credit's due. We're very happy with how it was handled. I mean, like, I don't know if it was just because it was like a 8th anniversary kind of event. Like it has to, there's a little bit more nuance to it. So they wanted to make it like a proper like event and stuff. But I really do hope that maybe this is kind of a sign that they've figured out a methodology to kind of like weed out the modding team. So I'm gonna be a little bit hopeful and, you know, fingers crossed this is like light at the end of the tunnel here to be dealing with these modders. And I think it's also to get people more motivated to compete again. So I feel like that was the biggest issue with all the modding accounts. Like, I don't care myself. Like, if people want to cheat, by all means, but it kind of ruins the challenge or the competitive nature of the event because everyone kind of just gives up. So the fact that they've hit all these modders really hard and removed, I wouldn't say ban them, but I'd say at least remove their points and stuff. It's super positive, and it's, you know, it's a breath of fresh air at the very least.
Yeah. I do think it's good that they're putting so much effort into dealing with these individuals, but also some people also had another argument saying that, you know, this is really good and everyone's really happy about it, but at the same time, it is annoying that it happens at the end of the event.
I agree. Yeah,
because people want to know where they're at and how much they need to farm. Because like there were some people that got like really close to like that next level up of rewards, but if they knew that they were at that level, they would have went even harder to get to that point, but they wouldn't have known because of the way that the modders were, you know, invading those top ranks. So it makes sense, but I think overall this is better for the game. Yeah. Like it's in every way.
Yeah, there's also like the negative, which I don't want to get too deep into this conversation because we've got a lot to talk about, but there's also the negative about well, at the end of the day, well, they've got their points, they've got their tickets, and they've spent their tickets. So, like, it's kind of redundant as well. Because at the end of the day, all you're competing for is, like, the end of rewards. And for the most part, the rewards are almost identical for, like, S1, 2, and 3. Like, really? So, like, it's a shame because they've got their points, they've got their tickets, and they've already garnered, which at the end of the day, the whole point of farming Kizuna isn't for the ranking rewards, it's for the tickets to go spend and get tablets and materials and stuff. Yes. So, like, I think that I'd prefer if there was, like, multiple moments where, like, people were getting wiped out. But, again, that's probably the same conversation we've had a million times anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So, from a conversation we've had to a conversation we haven't had, 8th Anni after party, woohoo, who's invited?
Ooh.
We're
not Flame, obviously.
Flame is not invited, and that's on God too. We didn't mention 6 plus Akainu. I mean, do we want to really get into him? He's just basically on crack. He's very good, I think. You know,
he's very similar to Kuzan with his super evolution.
Yeah, he's like the opposite of Kuzan, which I think is really good. Like the flip side, sorry, of Kuzan. He's very strong.
I think they're slightly different in terms of the debuffs that they remove. Like I think
they are.
Like Akainu removes defense and Rainbow Shield.
Yeah, increase defense and percent damage reduction by 3 turns for his level limit break, but the base is by 2 turns, which is fucking sick.
And then Kuzan was different. He was Rainbow Shield and Threshold, I think. Slightly different. So
you kind of get the mix of everything, I suppose. And it's the same mechanic. Consume 16 orbs at level limit break, and you get he repops his special again. So you get like 6 turns of removal if you consume the orbs. Also, the best part about him, though, is the 800,000 damage that you deal for hitting... the 800x his attack in damage is just bonkers within itself.
He's a monster.
He's very strong.
I like the fact that they make these specials less redundant in the fact that, they provide 1 boost, but if you already have that boost, you get a different boost instead. Love that.
Yeah.
Yep.
These units.
I think
captain ability is great.
They've done really well. I'll take my hat off. The last 2 6 pluses, like Kuzan and Akainu, have been very well done.
And they're free to play.
And the funny part is, every 6 plus going forward will be free to play as well. Because
that's
they'll
crazy.
all be super... I mean, I can't... What happens when the Super Suga Fest unit gets 6 plus? We'll have to wait and see, I suppose. But 6 plus Akainu, very good.
I think, though... I've been using Akainu a little bit in some content, and I personally prefer Kuzan over the 2.
Okay.
Alright, go on.
With the Super Evolutions, Kuzan is made to be a better unit. And it's mainly because... Nowadays, the end of turn damage that he does, which is the reason why he was so good when he first came out.
Correct.
The end of turn damage that he does doesn't really matter these days. Like, it's nice, but it's not really that good in today's day and age.
Yeah.
Considering enemies have millions of HP and normal attacks only so prevalent, like the actual abilities that Kuzan gives you, like the healing captain ability, higher multipliers and everything.
Yeah.
It's just better. But
I agree.
This is 100%. Still a good 6 plus.
It's fantastic. I do agree. And I think that, like, the devil's advocate point is, like, he can get through resilience, obviously, like, with that captain ability, which is, again, very valuable. But I do echo the same thing as you. I think Kuzan, as a unit, rounded-wise, is super good. Like, I would probably say a little better. Plus, like, they're both pretty good in Pyre Rumble as well now, which is awesome to see, too. Like, getting more units involved inherently makes things, you know, like a lot nicer and, you know, a lot more enjoyable to see different teams pop up rather than constantly the same teams.
Yeah,
anyway.
that's like another reason why I can't wait to see like more Super Evolutions is like just make them good in Pirate Rumble, to be honest.
Kuzan kind of can swing his way into the Psy team, and same thing as Akainu for the Int team. So you can kind of change things up a little bit there, which is, again,
they're both
great.
Very good in Rumble. I've tried them out a little bit. So he's really good in Rumble because, like, Akainu's special, it does a guaranteed 30% health cut on everyone, and then any Psy enemy gets 2,500 fixed damage dealt to them as well.
And
that's really good.
He removes, like, non-level limit breaks, level 7 defense down to quicken Psy for 40 seconds.
Yeah, that's so
which
good.
is fucked. That's eating up teams, like, just straight up, which is really, really good too.
It's nasty.
He's good. I think, like, hopefully everyone got the skulls from Kizuna, because I believe that's what they were from there.
Otherwise, you gotta wait like 3 months.
Yeah, well, it's gonna take 6 years.
Yeah,
to find him.
like Dylan messaged me the other day and he's like, "Oh, how do you get the skulls for the green Dofi?" And
Oh
I'm just
no
like, "Oh,
no
you get them
no no!
from the Kizuna."
Oh
And like,
no
it should be
no
there.
no 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 no
He's like,
no!
"Oh, they're not there." Like,
Oh
wait,
no
what?
no 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 no!
Dofi was so ago.
No, you know, like it's horrifying, but yeah, it's I mean, I don't know. That's another conversation to have at some point, I suppose, of what we want to, you know. Hopefully, like at some point that gets kind of sped up, but I doubt it. They have a rhythm, and it's you know, it's fair enough. All right, rhythm after party. We've been dancing, we've been jigging, and what popped up? But two new legends in
Indeed.
Super Tandem Law and Super Tandem Kid. Zooey Mama, where we're in
Everyone thought Law and Kid would be anniversary.
anniversary. What are your thoughts? Are you like satisfied with like the release of units for anniversary period, or like did you expect anything else to come out, or what did the both of you guys like? How do you feel about the units that released overall?
Yeah, let us know, Knight.
What do you think, Knight? What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, I think the Luffy kind of is misplaced compared to like the Law and Kid. They're like both for the scene when they're on the roof.
Yep.
And then Luffy's just like random ass.
Gear 4
Oh,
activate.
Gear 4.
I am Gear 4 man. Oh,
But
yeah.
I think all the legends and stuff were pretty cool.
Yep.
I don't really know if anything else should have came out because, like, thinking back, like on the past like two Annies, like there always were like a couple of legends that came out, and then like there was the after party, and then it was like two legends, and then yeah, that was pretty much it. So yeah, I think it's fine.
No, I agree.
In my opinion.
What do you think, Todd? Did you want anything else to come out for 8th Annie?
I mean, yeah, it was a bit of a surprise with what they chose for the anniversary, but at the same time, I'm kind of happy with it.
Yeah.
I have no real complaints. I think
No, not at all.
I think all the units are pretty good. I mean, Hancock, Nami, Robin is a bit of an odd choice, but I mean,
it's
fine.
That's my one gripe is that they cheesed everyone with this like Hancock, Nami, Robin unit, made them a legend, made them arguably more exclusive than the Super Sugo Fest units themselves, gave them last tap as well, and then like I just wish that it was like the same way that they've done like the Rebecca, Shirahoshi and Reiju unit, where they just released 3 kimono style like limited rare recruits and had them all guaranteed on 3 different parts or whatever. I think that that'd be much better than releasing a whole ass legend, but at the same time they're really fucking good. So like, you know, there's a bit of give and take there, I suppose. But without further ado,
Law and Kid, they're pretty good.
They are pretty poggers. Law, Captain Ability, Cerebral Free Spirit 5.25, HP 1.2, 10% damage reduction, 10 turns of... 10 more is beneficial for those classes, 10 turns of paralysis reduction, and if a character has a quick, tandem, or wino orb when you attack, reduces the defense of all enemies by 100% for 1 turn. Special, cooldown by 1 turn, increases chain tap timing bonus of Cerebral Free Spirit by 0.2 to 0.6 for 1 turn, depending on your GGP tap. Shout out to us. Boost attack of Cerebral Free Spirit by 2.75 for 1 turn. 50% recovery in HP, allows overhealing. And if your crew has an attack up, boost orb effects of Cerebral Free Spirit by 2.5. He is a super free spirit unit. Or no, cerebral unit.
Cerebral, yep.
And he's changes block into tandem, and he boosts attack of reduced defense by 2.25 for 3 turns. And his support is a heal and matching orb. And it's cooldown, sorry.
Yeah, very similar to his support's actually very similar to his V1.
Yeah.
Law
100% right. Yeah, you're correct.
Very
what do you guys think? I think he's very fucking good, in my opinion.
He is a big boy.
He is very strong.
he single-handedly makes the Grand Voyage a lot easier on that strength fight, the buggy fight.
Oh, yeah.
He's just so good. He's basically, if you don't have time skip Luffy friends, just use Law, you'll be good to go. He's so
I
good.
love this captain ability mechanic. It's
cool.
Have one of 3 slots, 100% damage defense reduction.
Yeah.
And his super special is for 3 turns as well.
Yeah.
Which is this unit's great. I love this unit. I think
Yeah.
Law is very well designed. And the chain tap timing bonus is a new buff
Correct.
as well.
Yeah.
And I think
Very
it adds on to everything, all the other buffs too. So you can have your other chain buffs, I believe, as well. On top of
it does.
Which is, again, mental. So chain boundary legends stay winning.
So I don't remember how this actually works, but so when this is active, and if you hit a perfect with a cerebral or a free spirit character,
Yep.
So normally every time you hit a perfect, the chain goes up by like 0.3.
Yep.
So I think this makes it go up by 0.9 because it gives 0.6 extra.
I think it adds on to it. So if you hit the good with your first character, it only goes up by 0.5 only, but like it still goes up by the 5. But then if you hit the perfect, yeah, you're right. I think it goes up by 9, which is
and
like
the fact that it stacks with
bonkers.
everything else, like
yeah.
Oh my god,
chain.
Like,
So you have, what does it go?
Oh, no, like boundary boost.
Yep.
Multiplicative.
Yep.
And then this
tap timing, chain tap timing as well. So like it's
dude,
you can exceed a lot, and it kind of makes sense because like now you have like this buff is a great way to also get around the attack chain boundary mechanic thing, where it's like reduces your attack depending on it. But then on the contrary, they introduce that new variant of it where it's like if it exceeds a certain chain boundary, like
you already know they're gonna do that on the Kizuna.
Oh, big time, because this it's. But I think that this unit is very well designed. I just think like he encompasses. I guess the only downside I have is no orb manip. Again, kind of. I mean, no, sorry, he does have orb manip. He has it in super himself. Special. But yeah, sorry, changes. Including the character. It's only his orb. Oh, you're right. Yeah, no orb manip sucks. Yeah, that's a shame.
It's annoying that he doesn't do damage with his special, because then you could have put some Goku support, which changes all your slots to tandem and a chain boost. But no damage dealing special.
You're so right. That would have been fucked.
That would have been so good.
That would have been so busted, because you'd have had the 0.7 from Sengoku, full board of tandem orbs, so you have the tandem attack ready. Yeah. You'd have had the chain tap timing bonus on top of everything as well. Bruh,
and then attack boost.
Arguably this heal as well with overheal. Like, this could be the best
oh my god,
best legend in the game. Hands down.
It's cool as well that I like that he does health boost and damage reduction, so it's pretty tanky, and then the paralysis reduction too. That's pretty neat.
I love paralysis reduction's fantastic. Like it's just so good.
At the same time, this is the third quick legend we've had now that is a paralysis reducing captain.
That is also a fantastic
Magellan, Izo Okiku, and now this. Like it would have been so good if it was something else, but it's still good.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great observation, because kind of cringe, but at the same time, like also fantastic still. So like there's like paralysis remove is always great, but like I agree. Would have been nice if it was something different, something, I don't know what it could have been, but like, I don't know, what do we really need that we haven't had in a while, I suppose?
Prevent you from getting block orbs.
Yo, hold on, that's kind of a lit idea. That'd be crazy or whatever. We're kind of broken.
It would have been crazy if he had special reverse as a captain. I think that would have been kind of cool.
Ooh, yeah, that'd have been sick.
They've been doing lots of special reverse stuff recently.
They have. A lot of every unit now has like embedded cooldown, either in their captain or their special, which I find to be really cool. A lot of units releasing. I mean, and especially Kid later on. We'll talk about him. A lot
like
of
the way this character's built, it's almost as if like this unit was built to be a Super Sugo unit.
Yeah, he was, without a doubt.
If this unit was a Super Sugo unit, his captain would have like gone through immunity with his defense down.
Yeah, probably.
Hypothetically, if he was a Super Sugo, but the fact that he wasn't, they're like, oh, we need to weaken him a little bit.
Yeah.
Bastards.
Right. Super Tandem. So I'll read, I guess, the level 1 and level 5, because everything else kind of scales upwards, I suppose. The level 1 requires you to have any one of the Law Pirates, or Luffy, Corazon. I almost said Doflamingo. Jesus Christ. Or Corazon. And it's a 1.25 tandem attack boost to Cerebral and Free Spirit and makes Quick Orb beneficial for those characters. And then at level 5, it requires you to have any one of the Law Pirates, Luffy, or Corazon, or a Cerebral / Free Spirit character. So you're not restricted to just the characters alone. And it is
easy.
a 2 times tandem attack boost to Cerebral and Free Spirit. And it makes all colored orbs matching for those characters as well.
Well, there's his orb manipulation.
Yeah, that's it, right? You're 100% correct. Very fucking good, mind you. Like, we've chatted about Tandem before, but like, Super Tandem, sorry.
It's dumb.
It's dumb because it's like level 1 alone is a 25% attack damage increase, period. Flat increase of damage, which is just bonkers in itself. So,
and yeah,
very
just think
good
of, like,
Super
attacking
Tandem.
this with like already like last taps as well. Just the amount of damage you get is just nuts.
Insane. Very, very powerful.
Yeah.
Quickly into his Pirate Rumble kit. A Rumble ability at level 5 is level 5 attack and speed up to Quick, level 6 HP up to Cerebral. His specials on the 32 CT, 3x character's attack in damage to 3 enemies, 100% chance to inflict paralysis to 2 strength enemies with the highest attack for 20 seconds, and applies level 7 speed up buff to crew members in a medium radial range for 20 seconds. Yeah.
He's not wowing me.
You can put him in the Quick team.
Yeah.
Because he's like, his ability for Quick is amazing. Level 5 attack, level 5 speed's really good. And if they're also Cerebral, level 6 HP, but they've done the cringe thing where they've separated the buffs again, which I despise entirely.
Yeah, I wish they'd make up their mind about what they're doing with these units. Like, they're trying to make them good for multiple different situations, but it's just not the way that it goes, man. Just make them really good in one situation. You know?
I'm not running this guy on a Cerebral team for level 6 HP up buff, is all I'm going to say.
No, not at all.
Like exactly.
Just give all the buffs to both Quick and Cerebral.
That'd be fucking incredible. Because then you'd want to like nuance your teams that you could run like a hybrid Quick / Cerebral team for Pirate Rumble potentially, you know. But also, there's no value in doing that. His special's okay. Like, lots of damage to 3 enemies. It would have been cool if they had done the last tap Kid thing and made him go through defense the same way his captain ability does as well. Like you know, like made him pierce, like do piercing damage essentially. With like
the
with
damage is fine, but the other effects are just kind of whatever. Like paralysis to 2 strength enemies with the highest attack. Paralysis is one of the most useless debuffs you can apply in Rumble.
Yeah. And
then a speed down to the crew members in a medium range for 20 seconds. Speed down is fine, but it's not
I think if like paralysis worked in the way where if your unit was paralyzed, it also stops them from doing their special.
That would be broken.
Yeah, but like it also make paralysis way greater, and a lot of units.
Oh yeah.
That like because then a lot of units that like they ignore paralysis or are resistant to it become way more powerful against countering paralysis teams. Adds a new layer of strategy to it, but I mean, it is what it is.
Man, if paralysis did that, then Quick Kaido would be so broken. Dude, the Quick team in general would be broken. Holy.
Quick Kaido still is fucking broken nonetheless.
He is. He's great.
Alright. That was nice and snappy. What do you guys think? Law overall? Satisfied, not satisfied? Out of 10? What are your vibes at?
Yeah. I think that Law is very solid. I think he's a great legend. I think his Rumble is not the best.
Yep.
But I think that Law in regular content is going to see a lot of play, and especially if you get that Super Tandem maxed out, it's going to be pretty easy to build a team with it, considering you could just use a Luffy as one of the characters, which makes it easy.
Fantastic.
And he's just a super solid unit. I'd probably give him like a 9 out of 10.
Yep. I'd probably echo everything you just said. Probably 9.5 for me. He's a fantastic legend. What do you think, Knight?
9.75.
Because it's Law, right? Knight's got the hat on right now. As we speak.
How do you know?
I can see everything. I'm in the walls, man. I'm in the walls. All right, pause on that.
Oh shit.
Hey,
man who isn't pausing on nothing. It's Legend Kid. Woo. Super Tandem Kid. In Driven Striker. Ooh. Kind of
Driven
fancy
striker.
there.
I'm so surprised.
Wow. another Driven Striker. His captain ability. 3 turns of cooldown to Striker Driven. Boost their attack by 5.25. HP by 1.65. Quick in and tandem orbs beneficial for those classes, and he at the end of every turn he reduces the crew's HP by 10%. His special 20% HP cut in true damage, so that's piercing to all enemies, increases chain tap timing to Striker Driven from 0.2 to 0.6. Boosts the attack of Striker Driven by 2.75 for 1 turn. He makes all orbs, including block orbs of Striker Driven, into tandem orbs, and adds a perfect barrier to those orbs, and if your crew has an attack up, he boosts the orbs of Striker Driven characters by 2.5 for 2 turns. Super special is for driven characters, 100% character attack and type of damage to all enemies, one turn cooldown of Striker Driven. He increases the boost effect of attack up buffs applied to Striker Driven characters by 0.25 for 1 turn, and Driven to Super Driven. His support is a 1.5 times attack boost on special activation to the supported character. There you go.
Boost the base attack. Yeah.
Oh, base, yeah. Boost base attack, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty good.
Pretty strong.
It's kind of interesting that we're getting another character that is one of these
Hody.
ones that reduce HP at the end of the turn. Yeah, shout
yes,
to my man
sir.
Hody.
Hody.
Hey,
My
yo.
king.
That's crazy.
I'm less impressed by Kid in comparison to Law.
Okay.
I think Kid's still very strong, but I guess that I'm more satisfied with how Law is more well-rounded. But then on the contrary, Kid has a much better, orb. I mean, he has an incredible orb manipulation situation. Like, he gives you full board of orbs, and he barrier locks them as well. So, you get a lot more benefit out of it, too. I don't know. How do you guys feel yourselves with Kid?
When I first read what he did, first thing I thought was, all right, this is Capone crew plus
Hody.
plus Hody plus Super Tap. No, not Super Tap. Final Tap Kid.
All had a child. they all got together and had some fun, and then this unit was birthed from the ashes.
On episode 69.
On episode 69, we're getting a little bit raunchy. What do you think, Todd?
I like this. I think this unit's pretty good. I like that he gives the -3 cooldown. That's not something you see every day.
Yeah.
So the speed farming could be kind of interesting. This was striker driven. Don't know how many good speed farming units you could use with striker driven.
Yeah. That's kind of the concern that I have, is that there's not a lot of really good striker driven, I suppose.
Yeah.
To kind of satify.
Does he have
Yamato
enrage buff? He does.
He does
Yamato.
have enrage, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you can use Yamato with this unit too. Pretty good.
Oh, you're right. Enrage with him is actually fantastic.
Yeah, because he takes damage at the end of each turn.
Yeah.
So he's gonna naturally have a lot of attack.
A lot more passive attack to be doing, which is really good.
I think his special is going to see a lot of use as a sub as well.
Yeah, I agree with that, 100%.
Like, the fact that he's a damage dealing special, you could chuck Halloween Law on him to get an int or boost as well.
Or boost, yep.
And that chain attack boost thing, like that plus that Yamato, whew.
Yeah, that's kind of broken. That's kind of broken.
Boost,
you are right.
Then the slot barrier thing is kind of interesting. Carried over, like, you just have to hit like goods and greats to carry the orbs over multiple turns, which you kind of, like, it contradicts his special because he gives you that tap timing thing, which means you probably want to hit perfects, but you don't want to hit perfects if you have the slot barrier thing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're on your burst turn, it doesnst matter. You just hit perfects anyway.
It's cool that he gives you a full board of tandem as well, because then hypothetically you can just keep doing the tandem attack. Like,
correct.
Just constantly, like, if you're just hitting goods and grades, you can just keep tandem attacking every single turn. So I think
that's kind of nasty.
He's not restricted to the final. No, he's not restricted to, like, the final turn or whatever. So he can just keep popping it every...
Only Kaido did that for some reason.
That's kind of weird that he was here for the final. Yeah. Guess we could jump into the Super Tandem then on that line. So for level 1, he requires any 2 of the following: driven characters and any one of the following: Killer, Heat, Y, Monk, or Luffy. And that it boosts tandem attack of Striker driven by 1.25 and for 1 turn, and then reduces the defense of all enemies by 50% for 1 turn. Then at level 5, he requires any one of the following: Striker or driven, and then any one of the following: Killer, Heat, Y, or Luffy. And then he boosts the attack of Striker driven by 2x for 1 turn, and reduce defense of all enemies by 100% for 1 turn. Wow.
Yeah, I think this one kind of sucks at level 1, to be honest.
Yeah.
At level 5, like, it's really good.
Yeah. It's
that defense reduction is kind of
it's a little annoying because from levels 1 to 4 you need 3 characters total, I believe. Or because it doesn't count like double. You can't have like a Luffy that's like Striker, that's like Striker that counts for 2 of the 3, right? You need to have a Striker driven character, a Heat, Y, or like you have to have like a Striker or driven character, 2 of them.
Yeah,
And also,
I'm
like, a
always
Heat.
confused about like the condition for the Super Tandem. Sometimes they're really like they're not worded very well, so it's
Yeah.
hard to determine like actually what you actually need. But
I
it's kind of
think-
weird
yeah.
with Kid, the fact that they're like, oh, you can use a Luffy, but yeah, how many Luffys are Striker or driven that you're actually going to use?
Exactly right.
Not many.
I just think I think that he suffers because levels 1 to 4 are kind of like because you need like a lot of units to get the tandem off. But then
Yeah.
level 5 he becomes like fantastic, which I guess makes sense.
I mean, at the end of the day, you can still use a defense down conditional with him. Like, it doesn't always have to be 100%. You can just use a 50% damage reduction, a defense reduction, with still a 2 times conditional against the defense down. Like, that still works.
Yeah. Exactly right.
It sucks because like you can't use the utility of the effect. Like, just get tandem slots, and then if the enemy has like a blue shield, which normally you'd have to remove, then you could just use his tandem effect. But it's only really good if you're at level 5, which is what really hurts this guy.
Yeah,
I would have preferred if it was 100% the whole way, and then just buff the attack boost. That would have been really good.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it didn't need to be a 2x attack boost and 100% defense reduction. It could have just been like 100% defense reduction the whole way, and then made the attack boost like max out at like 1.75 or like something like that, But anyway, fantastic regardless. His Pirate Rumble kit, level 5 ability, level 5 HP and defense to int. The first 3 times his character lands a hit, applies level 2 attack up buff to driven. And then his Rumble special is on a 33 CT, applies level 5 attack up buff to crew members in a medium radial range for 20 seconds, deals 3.2x attacking damage to all enemies in a large horizontal range, 100% chance to inflict silence to side characters in a large horizontal range for 10 seconds, and it inflicts level 8 attack down debuff to side characters in a large horizontal range for 15 seconds. He is very strong for the int defense team, and that's about it. At least in my opinion.
I haven't pulled Kid yet, so I haven't had a chance to like use him, but just from reading this, it seems okay.
Yeah.
Definitely, more defensively focused for sure.
Yeah.
I like his special in the fact that he applies special bind, because through building int teams, I'd noticed that some of those really pesky side characters can actually be special binded, specifically Yamato. So this having the potential to special bind Yamato, but the big problem with that is the fact that Yamato has a lower CT than Kid, so that kind of sucks. So there's a high chance that Yamato will already launch before Kid even gets a chance to use his special.
Great point.
33 CT is pretty high.
It is really high, and I think like, although they've done the wonky thing again where it's like color and class, a lot of the int characters are already driven. So like he kind of slides in pretty well, I believe.
Yes. Correct.
So like they will get like most of the int characters will also get a level 6 attack up buff as well, which is like fantastic in itself.
And he applies attack up before he does his damage too.
Yeah. So it's really good. He's good for defense, but again, int are lacking something in the offensive field still, I think.
They're just so scared from making good units in Rumble these days, to be honest.
They're all fucking quick. Stop. They're making quick characters for Rumble, man. It's too many quick rare recruits.
No,
But
we need more side buffs. That's what we need.
yeah, please. That's all I ever want, right? There's like 16 really good side teams that you can run. You know, they're all
Yeah.
fantastic. But I mean, that's about it for Kid, I suppose. Anything in particular? Like anything? What are you guys' thoughts? How do you feel? Out of 10, what's the vibe at?
I think definitely Law is more desirable than Kid, but I think that Kid's gonna be really fun to use, like the cooldown and the fact that you can just like speed through content and hit extremely hard, and especially when you get him at level 5 final tap or super tandem, should I say? Being able to just continuously launch that on heaps of all these stages to get continuous attack buffs and stuff. He's going to be really good, and he does synergize well with the new Blackbeard, which we'll talk about soon too.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I agree. I'd probably say, I echo again the exact same thing. I'd say if I gave Law a 9, I would give maybe like an 8.5 or an 8.75 to Kid. Like he's up there as well. He's up there as well, but I just think Law is probably a little better in my opinion. What do you think, Knight? Sweatbear?
I think he's a really good speedrun cap. Kind of hard though, because you know a lot of the stuff that you want to speedrun, like garb challenges, are dead. So you're probably not playing those anymore, really.
Yeah.
Grand Voyage, you could he does Grand Voyage really well. I saw he did the buggy one pretty good. No, not the buggy, the Luffy one pretty well, which is nice. So if they keep making Grand Voyages that help with him, that could be nice. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard because like Todd said, the Law's a bit more desirable because he's more tanky, and I feel like he can has more survivability, while the Kid is more gotta go fast, and if you don't, you're dead. So yeah, I'll probably give him a 8.75 too.
I agree 100%. It's just a shame because we don't have a lot of content that you can speedrun anymore or farm very quickly. At least back in the day, you had the Fortnites and stuff that you had to farm. And you had to farm a lot of them to get dupe copies. So that's why legends like Hody was so desirable, because you could get through content super fast.
And it's not like you really need to speed farm arena or anything.
Yeah, exactly right, you know. And I mean, with all the cooldowns and units being buffed, blah blah blah, the whole factor of speedrun is kind of diminished. You just need units that do a lot of damage to wave clear. So it's up and down there. Before we get off the topic of these units, how did your pools go? Is what I wanted to ask first on the banner.
Yeah, the pools were interesting. I ended up doing a lot more pools than I really wanted to. I did I think I did 10 or 12 on stream, and then when I got off stream, I was only a couple away from the next super limited step, and I think the step before the super limited step off screen, so an additional 2 multis, I got Law. So that was cool. And then ended up doing the super limited step afterwards and got another quick brook. Got plenty of those quick brook. My quick brook is actually nearly max level limit break at this point.
I can't fucking pull that dog. I want Brook. Man, bruh. I'm so mad. I'm gonna cry.
If I could, I would.
I'm gonna break down. That motherfucker does not exist for me. Because I got very lucky. Hands down. On this banner. Part 1, I pulled Kid on the first multi, 6-star, naturally. And then on the second multi, I pulled Heat and Y and Beppo. So I was like, alright, sorted. And I was like, you know what? It's anniversary, let's have some fun. I did 10 multis on part, the Law part, sorry. New Rare Crew Pudding, I pulled Robin Jimbei, New Legend. I pulled Kinemon and Dendro, New Legend. I pulled New Rare Crew Perispero. I pulled New Legend Marco as well. And then I also pulled Law on the 10th. So, I'm incredibly lucky there for myself. But fucking Brook, man, please come home. I have tea waiting for you. But very happy with those. And, a lot of new characters myself, which is, always super fun to play around with.
Very good.
I guess another question as well I want to ask is, what's your opinions on these large portraits? Because I think there's been a lot of murmur around. People are happy, people aren't happy, people like them, people don't like them. Do you think it's something that should stay for all legends? Do you think it only should be for special characters? What are your opinions in general on them, I suppose? What do you guys
I'd
think about
love
these
it.
portraits?
I love the big portraits, and it is such a shame that they released the Smoothie and the Blackbeard Legends that don't have the big artworks either.
Yeah.
So maybe it's only going to be like the big celebration and
Yeah.
maybe new batch characters, like new batch at the end of the month characters will have it, or maybe it literally will only be for the new batches, or like the big batches.
The special event characters and such.
Yeah, and even Super Evolution, Akainu didn't have it either, so
Yeah.
we won't expect that. I think it's good because not only does it just, I like the fact that the artwork is just bigger, but also the ink effects look really
Oh,
cool on them
yeah,
too.
yeah. For sure. They look
It,
way
it
cooler.
adds more life to the artworok.
Totally. I mean,
Yeah.
I agree. I think, like, I don't know why people are complaining, is that people are complaining in general. Like, shut up. Like, who cares, you know? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, you're not looking at the art all the time. Like, that's the point. Like, you know, like, most of the time, you don't even know, I don't even know half, if not all, what the unit art looks like for most units anyway. So you're not looking at it all the time. So it doesn't matter that much to have to always look at it or whatever. But I don't know. I like it. I'm a big fan myself.
Yeah.
All right, Knight. Anything on that? Anything you want to yell at the community for while you have the chance?
I'm good. I don't really have any complaints. It's just big art.
Pretty much.
It big art, man. It big art, man. That's his big art.
I
Man.
have a quick question for you guys now.
Hit it, go off.
All right.
I was thinking about this. So, with Super Tandem being out and there being one for every color basically except for Psy, do you think the next one is going to be Psy, or are they gonna beat around the bush to get the Psy? And after that, the follow-up question is, do you guys think that the next like the next Super Tandem Legend is gonna be like a character who has who's like the captain of a crew, or do you think they'll go down a route of like admirals or like the scabbards and stuff like that, or do you think there'll be more like captain based characters, because all the ones that we've seen so far have all been captains?
It's a great question. I would say that there's a likelihood that it will always be like the quote unquote figurehead units, like the that will have the Super Tandem. And I also think that they might be saving the Psy if they do a Film Red celebration for Shanks. I don't know if that's too outlandish to like, because like, I mean, Film Red comes out in August and we're kind of almost there. So like, it kind of makes sense that like, this is like, they're going to wait for maybe Shanks. But at the same time, like, I guess we'll have to wait and see what the next end of month batch is in June, and see if those units have Super Tandem or not. Because then we can kind of like gauge, like, is Super Tandem only going to be released for special like event characters? Because technically, Kid and Law aren't special event characters. They're like regular batch legends, but they just happen to be on the after party of Anniversary. So like, there's a lot to it. But if I had to put my money on it, I would say that maybe they're going to leave Psy for Shanks and make him a Psy Super Tandem character. And then to answer your other question, I think that it will most likely be for figurehead characters. So for example, the Red Scabbard situation, if Kinyamon was to get a solo legend, he would have Super Tandem, I suppose. And it would work with the Red Scabbards or whatever. Or maybe if Odin released a new legend, Odin would have it, and then the Red Scabbards would work alongside him with like Toki and you know, that kind of stuff too. That would probably be my assumption with how they're gonna release it. But then again, I'm more than happy to be proven otherwise, regardless.
Yeah, I think for the Super Tandem thing, like, I think initially they'll just do like the big figureheads because that's the easiest thing to do, and then later on they'll do like really odd, obscure ones, like, I don't know, something like if they did like the group of people that escaped Impel Down, like maybe it's like an Evangel Legends, and then like if you have a Luffy, a Croc, a Jinbei, whatever, then you get the Super Tandem.
Yeah.
Like something like that would be pretty badass.
And that's a great way to
that'd be
think about
awesome.
it. I didn't think about using Super Tandem to like introduce like newer varieties, not just like whole cake island batch and blah blah blah. You can really like get super nuanced with it and like, you know, like and release like legends that have Super Tandem that like are about a particular moment in the story, as opposed to just being like, all right, it's, you know, Crocodile and his and you know the numbers and stuff like that. Like it's, I think that's a really good idea actually. You know, Bandai should be listening to that. That'd
Yeah,
be
like
sick.
stuff like that, or like in Marineford where like Whitebeard's like saying like, oh, everyone's got to protect Luffy or something, and then it's like a super tandem of like Luffy, Vista, Marco,
Yeah. Oh my
like
god.
going to
Oh
save
yeah,
Ace or
that'd be
something.
Hey,
awesome.
have you thought about like making content for Treasure Cruise?
Well, once or twice.
No, that's a fantastic idea, and I think that like I hope that that's the route that they take, as opposed to it always just being like Roger releases and then it's like Rayleigh and blah 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 blah. You know, like
Oh man, a super tandem Roger Crew.
oh he's
kind of
fucked.
fire though.
Yeah, that'd be fucked. That'd be fucked up.
That'd be
But
sick.
I do hope that it does go down that path when we get like more niche legends, and then the Super Tandem follows like a story like arc or a story bit or whatever. That'd be super cool. I'm definitely down for that kind of stuff.
I'm also super looking forward to One Piece Day, 22nd of July.
Oh my bro, what are they gonna do, man?
I don't know. It's literally like right before the film Red stuff
That's
comes
what I'm
out. 'Cause
saying. Like
we think it's gonna be in August, right?
yeah. I'd assume so.
They should.
Yeah, they have to. Imagine if they didn't capitalize on a film Red Sugar Fest.
Yeah,
be-
they have to.
Like you'd be out of your mind and not release a Shanks or an Uta or whatever it is as a legend, or at least as a character. Like you'd be out of your mind to not do that.
And then
if
they put
don't,
the film OST on the home screen.
oh my, that like
That'd be
the song that played, like the second trailer song. That
Oh,
song's
that'd be
so
fire.
hard, bro. I just that song's so good.
Hell yeah.
They have to, but at the same time, what do they release for One Piece Day? Because we've gotten Wano Law, we've gotten
6 plus Wano Law.
Fuck off.
It'd
be too good.
Artwork.
It'd be
Extended
too
artwork.
good. It'd be
Yeah,
too
let's
good.
go.
It'd be too good. He's already so good.
He's like legit like the only, well, I say the only, but from recent times, like one of the only released legends that doesn't have like super type or super class that is like still actually amazing.
He's aged like fine wine. He just gets. He's like Bullet. He's like
His
Bullet, right?
capability's not the greatest.
Yeah, that's
in terms
the
of
that's the.
multiplier.
But you know what would also be kind of shitty though? Not shitty, but like crazy is that if they did give him a 6+, all right, he's free to play now. They have to hand him out in the Pirate Rumble event, which is fucked because everyone's gonna be running around with fucking Wano Law now. Like,
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Well,
He's a fantastic character.
We'll know when the new Pirate Rumble season comes out at like the end of June or whatever. If it's a Super Pirate Rumble or whatever.
Yep. We'll have to, we'll figure it out, which would be really interesting to see how they approach it. But I agree. I think that they have to do something. They don't have to do something for One Piece Day, but again, it would be a missed opportunity to not do something. And same thing goes for the film Red as well. It would be they don't have to, but it would be a missed opportunity to not do something.
I forgot about it as well, but we should be getting that Legend Ulti soon.
Oh yeah.
That Legend Ulti should be like next month, if not in August.
Might be end of June batch.
Well, it should be Treasure Map Sugo.
That's true.
Yeah, so it'll be next month probably. If not, it'll have to be the month after.
Oh yeah.
I guess maybe when we see the silhouette, because who was the unit that won? So Ulti won, so she's the legend. So who are the other units? It was like Hiyori, Toki, and Shinobu.
Yep, that's right.
So if one of those units is the silhouette, that's when we know that Ulti's coming out.
Ulti's coming out.
Yeah.
Damn, I totally forgot about Legend Ulti. I totally
forgot
about
that.
Octo. Shout out Octo, Haven, man. All right. Level limit break. Probably the most enjoyable part of our reading off lots of text. I don't know if we want to, do we want to read each one? Or you just want to, kind of just give out...
I don't think we have to read them.
No.
But I think I'm really, really excited for just level limit break in general. Like, even characters that I know I'm never going to use. Like, the Sai Sabo, I'm probably never, ever going to use him. But I think that what they've done is, really interesting and fits the character really well. Like,
But the fact that they've bumped him to a 5.25 with matching 5 times otherwise.
mm-hmm.
HP recovery, signed tandem slots beneficial. He applies ignite. Like, you know, come on, dog. It's pretty good.
It's really cool. He ignites them and then like has the conditional special to give
For
you a
3
boost against them.
turns.
Yeah,
1.5x for 3 turns is mental.
that's super good. And they made what was it? You get 2 times attack, and then if you hit 3 perfects, it's 2.5. So that
Beautiful.
still maintains the same, but yeah, 2.5 boost in the next turn's really solid.
Yeah.
And yeah,
So
the fact that all of these units are just their captain abilities are just so strong now.
Yeah, exactly.
5
It's awesome. All right, so the characters they got it. We have 6+ V1 Doflamingo. We have V1 Saber 6+, V1 Marco 6+, Corazon 6+, and then V1 Croc 6+. All receive their level limit breaks.
Dude, Croc's special is cracked. It is so good. Health
So,
cut, 2
yeah.
times attack and all boost. Top and bottom row slots into matching, which is kind of weird that it's
Yeah, a
top
little
and
bit.
bottom. But I mean, it's still 4 of 6 slots matching. And then you get a chain boundary as well when you're 50% or low HP. Like
What the
that
fuck?
special alone kills so many bosses.
That's fucked.
It's nuts.
Because that's everything you need. That's a chain
And
lock
then you
to...
put the oh my bad. You put the
go
double
on.
finger support on
Yeah.
him as well.
Yeah, fuck off.
Crazy.
That's so... Bro, this is the best legend of the game. Attack, orb, chain boundary, matching slots, HP cut, with a fantastic support that provides the support provides utility and a chain boost.
Oh,
Yeah.
and if you use Luffy and the Straw Hats as one of the captains, you can make that for all units, not Cerebral.
All right, V1 6, best legend in the game.
My man Croc got a good buff.
But he even like his attack, his captain ability attack boost jumps up to a maximum of 5.5. Like what?
Whose idea was this?
Like what are you doing?
And -2 cooldown as well.
Oh my god, this guy's fucked.
Yeah, this guy's so good. Wait, I didn't even realize. So at Limit Break expansion, is that 10 turn cooldown for this special?
Yeah.
Dude, what?
Yeah, it's fucked. He's cracked.
Oh my God.
He's so cracked, dude. What the fuck? Oh
Okay, who's better, this Croc or V2 Croc?
This Croc, I reckon, bro. But then again, this Croc, I mean, he requires more units, bro. Shut up! I don't care. He's fucking good. He's really good. He's really good. Corazon's pretty cool. He got a lot of nice.
He was the one I was most excited to see what they were going to do with, to be honest.
5x captain at max, lots of healing again. And then at the end of the end of the turn, he reduces in his captain ability 1 turn of paralysis / attack down, just passively. Pretty cool. Similar to that the Roger Whitebeard style of reducing stuff.
Yeah, it is only 1 turn, so it's not the greatest.
Yeah.
And it's mainly because of his special, the way that it's structured.
So he gives orbs or makes Dex Tandem recovery beneficial, changes left and right column slots, and basically makes them matching, heals a bunch. He reduces Bind Despair, Chain Lock, decreased chain growth by 5 turns, and he reduces paralysis and attack down by 4 turns. And then if your captain / friend captain, or if this character is your captain / friend captain, he reduces 20 turns of despair. Really good. Special.
Basically Roger Whitebeard.
Yeah. He's a really good, like it genuinely, even aside from like the 20 turns of despair, like because you have to have him as your captain or friend captain, really good special. Lots of utility. Like he's like a very similar to like Christmas Chopper. Like, you know, lots of utility, lots of debuff removal. Like that's 25 turns of despair removal in 1 unit, which is just
like
crazy.
amazing like utility plus a full board of slots too, which is so good.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think they've done really well.
And you can have the support of that quick law to get an orb boost off of it too.
Damn. All right, hold on. Now you're speaking some money.
Yeah, so utility matching slots and an orb boost. Yeah, sign me up.
12 turn cooldown. Anni has cooldown reduction.
Yeah.
in his ability too. So like, yeah, I'm very satisfied with this too. Marco, 5.25 captain, quick and Psy. Those orbs matching. If crew's HP is 70% or above, he reduces 30% damage. 30% damage. Special heals.
Over heals too.
Oh yeah. Oh wow. Okay. Over heals as well. That's pretty good. 7 turns of chain growth and attack down. 2x orb boost. And then if there already is an orb boost, adds 0.3 to it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Very strong.
Like, I don't know where the chain down and the attack down came from, but I'll take it.
I'm loving Legends I'm loving Legends now having a lot of utility in all their like kits and stuff. It's really nice to just like have Legends that have like utility embedded in their kit.
Yeah.
It just makes them so much better. Like it, there will I guarantee you there will be situations where you're like, you know what? Marco kind of fits the bill. Like, it kind of like works out with Marco.
Yep.
So like I think that's the whole that's all I want with level limit break is that I want more variety in being like, you know what? I could use Corazon here to remove a bunch of debuffs. I could use Marco to get overheal or boost 7 turns of chain and attack down. So like that's what I want for level limit break.
And again, it reduces the redundancy with your special. As like, if you've already got an orb boost, it's like, that kind of sucks. But no, you just use a better orb boost and then you buff it.
You buff it, exactly.
So
Sawu kind of read it out, which is he's great. And Doflamingo, 1 turn of Rainbow, 1 turn of cooldown, driven by 5.25 with a matching slot. HP 1.2. He makes Psy, Int, recovery, and tandem slots matching, and he recovers 1x recovery for every perfect. Damn.
Yeah, not bad.
He locks slots, easier perfects. He changes adjacent slots to matching, which include block. He boosts the orbs, 2.25 orb boost for driven for 2 turns. And then he gives a conditional, 1.75 conditional for 2 turns as well. Which is great. Did I read that wrong?
Color affinity.
Color affinity, sorry. I said conditional. Color affinity, yep, that's right.
So yeah, orb boost and color affinity. Damn, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's good. He's really good, dude.
The other thing is he's mono-driven focused, and I mean, at this current point in time, I don't know how useful that's going to be.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He's still solid though.
He's already like a good character in himself anyway, so he didn't really like need.
But it's the fact that now he has slightly better PvP abilities too, which is kind of
exactly.
big.
I think also I might be wrong here, but I think also all of these characters 6-star variants also got buffed as well.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, they did.
But there's no, I don't know. I'm not gonna. That's too much. But there you go. Level limit breaks. I'm happy with all of them. I think so far, genuinely, they've smashed out of the park a lot. Like the majority, if not all, of the level limit breaks so far.
Yeah,
very happy. It would have been cool if supports got buffed.
Yeah, it would have been cool, actually. I think that would be something that they should really look into, especially, like, even updating the conditions for some of the supports.
Yeah. Like, imagine Corazon getting buffed to, like, 3 turns, or whatever, of, like...
Oh, God.
Holy.
You know what I mean? Like, fuck. That'd be shit. Like, that'd be so awesome to have, like, level limit break and then doing that would have been super cool. So, like... And again, that's probably really busted, but, like, at the same time, level limit break isn't cheap. By any stretch of the imagination, it requires a lot of effort. So like it kind of makes sense to reward the player for getting to that point anyway. But yeah, I'm again very happy, very very happy nonetheless. From all of that, Legend Smoothie Pirate Rumble Extravaganza. What?
Step on me.
Oh, it's episode 69. What do you, man, these legends are dookie, man. I hate Pirate Rumble Legends so much.
It's annoying, man.
I hate them so much.
I mean, yeah, I really don't like the fact that they don't give them super type, super class, etc.
Yeah.
Like, it really does hurt the unit a lot. I really want to see them do a dual unit in Pi Rumble as a legend.
Yo,
That would be very intriguing.
that would be really cool. But they would
Yeah.
not do that. At least
No.
I doubt it.
They do not support class teams at all in Pirate Rumble. They just
That-
refuse to do it.
Law gives Cerebral level 6 HP up though.
Oh,
But
okay.
let's support Cerebral. Like, alright, shut up. Smoothie is a quick powerhouse slasher. 1 turn of cooldown. Boost the attack of powerhouse by 4.5. 5 for the matching orb. Slasher powerhouse 1.3 HP. Immune to blow away and makes strength and dex orbs beneficial to slasher powerhouse. Wait, so the attack boost is only for powerhouse? Or is this wrong on the database?
I believe it's Slasher and Powerhouse if I remember correctly.
Because that would be fucked up if it wasn't. That's all I'm saying.
No, I remember talking about this in my video. I'm pretty sure it is for both Slasher and Powerhouse. And it up now. Yeah, it is Slasher and Powerhouse.
Okay,
5A.
good. Solaris! Every app! No, I'm joking. They've been
Literally every app.
Oh, shout out to Solaris though, because they've been in the grindhouse pumping out a lot of the Rumble abilities for a lot of units.
Yeah.
So shout out to Solaris and everyone that helped him out there, because it's going to make the database
squad.
infinitely better regardless. So very happy with that. Special, 20% HP cut in true damage to all enemies, reduces percent damage reduction by 6 turns, just spare an attack down by 6 turns, and if your captain is powerhouse, sets the chain boundary to 2.5x and 35x for 2 turns, and increases the duration of any attack boost by 2 turns. Her support attaches to Big Mom, Katakuri, and Cracker, and then it's if an enemy inflicts with a random orb randomization, changes all of the random style orbs and badly matching into quick, so all orbs essentially, and then reduces attack down by 2 turns. Pretty good support actually on this unit.
Yeah. I don't know how often it's going to see play, but it's
Correct.
pretty good. Yeah.
It's a Pirate Rumble unit. They're kind of mid, always mid. It just is what it is, I suppose.
Captain ability wise, it's not impressive. I'm a big fan of the special. I like the special.
The special has a lot of utility. Chain boundary is becoming a pretty big thing now. Like, a lot of units are getting chain boundary mechanics, which is pretty cool.
Every unit's getting chain boundary these days.
You get a chain boundary. You get a chain boundary. But I like the fact that her special also like extends the duration of attack boost by 2 turns.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
That's pretty cool.
That's nice.
But I don't know. I still don't think this unit's that good. Yeah.
Also works with the new Blackbeard.
Ah, touche. That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, like she's fine. Like
she's fine. Exactly. She's fine. If you pull her, that's fine. Like the whole point is for her Rumble, which is where we'll scrutinize her a lot more because she is a Rumble legend, right? Rumble ability at level 5 is level 5 speed, attack, and HP to quick. And level 10 special 26 CT, 100% chance to inflict paralysis on 2 enemies with the highest attack in a large sideways range for 20 seconds. Removes 50% of special charge to 1 enemy with the highest special CT. And then deals 3x attack in damage to 1 enemy with the lowest HP 2 times.
Yeah, I like it. I think this unit is actually pretty good in Rumble. Like the Rumble ability is just awesome. Like there's nothing bad about it at all. No drawbacks, no nothing. And then the fact that like the special, when you look at it, if you just look at the special alone, it's just okay.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, and why I like it, is the fact that it's 26 CT, so it's pretty short.
Yep.
So you'll be able to get this off pretty quickly, launch it multiple times per run. Delaying a CT is pretty valuable. I was using up against that like single match it was at. I was like using a side team against it. A couple times I was like doing testing of it, and like she would just reduce the CT of like my Odin, so I couldn't get my Odin to launch. I was like, okay, well that actually kind of sucks.
That sucks, yeah.
So that's annoying, and like the damage to low HP, like it just gives you a higher chance of knocking something out. So
correct.
I'm a big fan.
I don't know. I'm kind of like whatever, I suppose.
I mean, Quick had a lot of good units in Rumble now, to be honest.
That's, I guess, my issue is that, like, she would have been so much better as, like, maybe potentially an int unit. and had the exact same kit, I suppose.
Man,
Or
God,
like,
that'd be nuts.
I don't know, because like I think Strength, Dex, and Quick and Psi are all incredibly good. They have a lot of variety, but like Int kind of
Sucks.
lacks.
Int
And
is not very good offensively.
exactly, and I think that this unit is very good offensively. I feel like if she had slotted into the Int role, would have been maybe a lot better. I don't know.
Yeah.
I would have to like pull her and then use her in Rumble to
Yeah,
actually have a
give
better
it a shot.
judgment. But I've seen like from what like I've seen people talking about, people are kind of like either or. They're not like, oh, she's good or oh, she's bad. They're like, she's really good or like, nah, she's pretty trash as a legend. Like as a Pyro Rumble legend at least. So I'm kind of swinging both ways. Like I agree with everything you've said, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Like she's also not that wow, in my opinion too. Like there's a bit of give and take there, but I do see a lot of the positives in her. I mean, 26 CT, especially when a lot of legends that have been releasing have been 30 plus, like CT these days. So 26 CT is very good.
Correct.
I mean,
So it's not the worst.
yeah, not the worst. I mean, not much else to her, I suppose. I mean, like it's kind of that's it.
Yeah,
Pyro Rumble legends are great because they're very just all right, sorted.
Yeah,
you guys think?
they're skippable.
Yeah,
So.
exactly. They're very skippable. But what do you guys think? We still have to rate.
I'd give her a probably like a high 7, low 8 ish.
I'd give her a 6.9.
Ha ha ha.
What about you, Knight? What do you think, Knight?
I'll give her a 7. I think I really like her special. I think it's pretty solid overall.
Yep.
So yeah, and then Pyro Rumble stuff, I think it's pretty cool. Even though I don't really know much about Pyro Rumble nowadays.
Yeah, well, exactly
so
right. I'm
just winging it right now. But I did have a question. While you guys are talking about Pyro Rumble, I was thinking, are there like I know like some of the Pyro Rumble legends were kind of overhyped, like Akainu when he came out, like everyone was on his dick, but then after a while, I was like, no, this guy's kind of trash. But which Pyro Rumble you say had like the most like substantial or like lasted the longest in terms of being like good on their teams and whatnot?
Is this about a legend or like rare recruits?
Oh, like legends, like the Pirate Rumble legends, like NL, Akainu, Irogue, Kizaru, Kuma.
Definitely NL is probably seen the most play.
NL and Kizaru, I would say, are two. Like they're very good. Like I recently pulled Kizaru because I did 5 multis on the Smoothie banner, and like using him, he's very good in the Dex team. Like,
Kizaru just having that low CT and continuously giving you attack and defense buffs is like really good.
And NL is just very good as well. Like both those legends are very well made. Like they're very well made and very well designed for their teams.
Yeah, they're not built to be like the huge powerhouses that do a crap load of damage. They're kind of just there as like really good support.
Engine. They're the engine to keep everything just continuously flowing and allowing units to like pop off around them.
Yeah,
like, and I like that. I think that that's what Pirate Rumble Legends should be labeled as, or should be like designed towards. They don't need to be the big boy damage dealing. That's what we have all the other legends and characters for. But I would love when like, I love when a legend comes out and they're just like the powerhouse. They're the engine that just continues to like drive. And I think that Smoothie could. Like, it would be nice if Smoothie did that for Quick, because Quick kind of has that, but at the same time, like, it would have been cool to have a legend that's like low CT, continuously charging, doing damage, blah, blah, blah. Like, you need those characters to really, like, progress these teams overall. But yeah,
like when you think about it, the Quick team, mainly when you're using a Quick team, you're using it to take on a Strength team. And you really got to think, is Smoothie going to really help you take on the Strength team? Well,
yeah, exactly.
She actually probably might not be like the best option for versing a Strength team. Like, she's good, but like still characters like Akainu and Kaido, you obviously are still using them. Iza or Kiku, you definitely use them, I would say.
Magellan.
I'm a big fan of Brook. Magellan versus Brook. That's like the big discussion in the quick team. Is like
Okay.
I don't really think you run both of them, but
No,
yeah,
you
it's
run
like
one or the other. Yeah.
because yeah, like Brook does a lot of things that are very similar to Magellan, where like Brook can haste your characters, but the thing is, Brook doesn't do damage with his special. He's like more like utility and
Yeah.
applying debuffs and stuff like that against strength.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whereas Magellan actually can do damage, but he only has like a chance to haste. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Brook though. I think he's pretty solid in Rumble as well. But
Exactly.
again, yeah, you got to find space for the unit, which is really difficult.
Yeah, exactly right. Like this is kind of the issue we're saying. Like a lot of these, like the quick team and the side team have so many units that can run on the teams.
Same with strength actually too.
Yeah, yeah. Now it's like the two, like Kaido and the wife who's releasing as well, make like
Odin versus Ace, Kuma,
yeah,
Final Tap Kid,
yep. Like
Toki, Vivi.
All those characters, like it's good because it adds more variety. So if, like, for example, Todd makes a best Pirate Rumble team but has replacements, like there is situations where, you know, the kid that doesn't have like 6+ Odin, for example, can like slot in another unit and like still run a very good strength team. But then on the opposite end, a lot of variety can also make it more daunting because like you don't know what to build, and then some teams just work really well, but then they get crapped on. Like that's what I've found in this Pirate Rumble series is like obviously like Dex has been buffed in the championship.
Definitely.
But like when I run a strength team, like me and Ringe have been like experimenting strength teams the whole time. You run a strength team with like Kaido, it does really well, and then it gets shat on by a Dex team. And then like you run a different kind of strength team, it does really well, then it gets shat on by another random Dex team. And then like, so like, whilst there's positives to having a lot of variety, it's also kind of stressful because like you need to like power up all the units, try all the units out, like see what works, what doesn't, and then you have to spend gems to play, and like, I don't know, then it gets kind of probably a lot more expensive than we need to get into today. But yeah, to answer your question and probably echo Todd, Kizaru, Anno, fantastic Pirate Rumble legends without a doubt.
Yeah, because like when you look at the other ones, right, you're like Kuma. And Kuma's not the best because like Final Tap Kid is basically better version of him.
Better Kuma, yep.
And then you got your Rogue, and your Rogue is okay to be honest. He's not bad, but attack just kind of sucks.
He also sucks though if there's no side characters.
Exactly.
Then he's doing no damage at all, I believe.
Like, he hits so hard, but he only hits side characters. So give and take with that.
So if you're
yikes.
like when his challenge boss fight came out, I just ran a quick team against it and beat my head against the wall until it beat it, pretty much.
Oh my god, that int challenge is one of the hardest things ever in the game.
Exactly, because if you run a side team, he just comes in and obliterates it completely. Yep. If you run any side, he destroys it.
Strength teams can get through it, I think.
Exactly. Like, so he's very good, but he's hemorrhaged because you need side units.
Yeah, exactly.
That's about it. Finally, at the very end of it all, we have Super Tandem TM Blackbeard. But before we get into that, TM Moria will be the character that releases.
Another Moria TM.
Yeah, another Moria TM. Interestingly, point rewards are back down to 10 mil.
It was just the anniversary then.
They have baited everyone again because they've worded it very horribly, which is very frustrating. Because the way they worded it was like, it's going to be 20 mil from now on. Everyone's like, that's pretty good. But it's back down to 10 mil. Mind you, as well, on top of that, you now need 1.5 million points to max out Moria as well. Like, in terms of, like, rainbow him as a unit. Which is
that's interesting.
very cringe. I'm so mad.
Like, you only get like enough to max the unit now, right? Like, you don't get like the 50 copies anymore. No. I think they said they were going to give you like forbidden tomes or something now.
Yeah, you get 30 tomes at 1 mil, and then maybe something else at 1.5 mil. I can't. It's only the screenshots here, but like, because this is how it works now. When you get a copy of the unit, it comes with max special. But then they give you only, like, they're going to give you 13 copies total. So Moria doesn't drop in the actual event. So if you want to max the unit, you have to get to 1.5 mil to rainbow them out.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not a fan of it because like from a like early game player's perspective, it's more daunting to get to 1.5 mil, especially in East Blue.
Yeah,
So like
they really need to make it easier for people in East Blue to reach like that threshold of getting the unit. Like even if for East Blue they like lowered the requirement to get the unit, like maybe get the unit at like 500,000 points
yeah,
or something like
I
that.
would
Like
agree with that.
I don't think anyone would really be upset if like,
No,
oh, for East Blue they just make it easier to get the unit for people. Like I really don't care. That
because
would be fine.
it also gives players the option. It's like if you're like feeling burnt out, you can just go to East Blue, which is kind of stupid, as I will admit.
It is stupid, but yeah.
But like you could technically go to East Blue, get the 500 thou, and get the character, and then just move on. You know what I mean?
Well, that's like with the most recent arena that came out, they kind of changed the structure of the arenas moving forward, where the unit comes at max special, and also you don't need specific materials anymore. You
Yeah,
can just
exactly.
use your own materials. So basically, you get the unit. Like even if you complete the lower difficulty, you get given one copy for free from the Chopper Man missions.
Yeah.
And then you just max the unit out with the level. You limit break the character, and you've already got the unit at max special. You only are really farming the content now to get the additional copy drops to get the character to rainbow, which I think is actually pretty good, as it makes it so more accessible for new players. A new player coming into the game farming an arena, they're not going to get that character maxed out.
No,
But
not at all.
now they can beat the lower difficulty, which is much more accessible, get a copy, get it ready to go so they can use it for content. Much smarter way to go about it. So I think if they take that strategy and then apply it to the other game modes as well for newer players to get those units, that would be ideal.
So that's essentially what TM is like now, but you have to go to 1 million points. Like, it still is 1 million points for the character. Like, don't get it twisted, because when the character comes, Mario, I don't know if Mario requires specific materials or not.
I don't know actually.
Doesn't say that he doesn't.
I would say probably, but I could be wrong there.
So if, for example, you still get all of his materials by 1 mil, then technically you still need to farm to 1 mil, right? But you're just not going to have his potential abilities leveled up.
Yeah, you won't have level 150. You won't be rainbowed.
Exactly. So, like, I guess I think it's still a positive move. I agree with you. I think this change is very positive because maxing out the special is generally the most important part of a unit. Not a lot of the time the potential ability matters that much. Like, obviously obviously there are situations where it does matter. Excuse me. But, like, a lot of the time it's like, is the special max? Yes, I can run this in content. Like, I can run this Moria now in Treasure Map going forward. I can run this Moria in another team, like a point farming event or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's good points there. But the reason we're all here, Super Tandem Blackbeard.
Yes.
Out of nowhere. Hey, Knight, do you want to have a guess what his color and classes are?
Huh. Let's see. Eat.
Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner. We have a winner.
Powerhouse?
Oh, he's on 1 out of 2.
Is he ambition? No.
Yeah.
Driven?
Ding, 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 ding. He's right.
Oh my god.
Another Blackbeard. Another int powerhouse driven. Fuck off. Jesus Christ. Why? What for?
This is the third Blackbeard Legend in a row that is int driven powerhouse.
Mental.
Let's fucking go.
Mental. I don't
believe it.
I don't get it. But this guy does have a bit of an essay for his captain ability. Because it's a pretty unique one, I suppose. But boost attack of driven powerhouse by 4.75, 5.25 if they have a beneficial orb. HP 1.5 and makes int and tandem beneficial for driven powerhouse. If a crew member uses a special with a base attack up or end of turn healing buff, He replaces those buffs with a base attack boost that will overwrite base attack boost in the same special. Boost base attack of driven and powerhouse characters by 1,250 for 1 turn. If a crew member uses a special with a % damage reduction or chain addition buff, replaces those buffs with a chain addition buff that will overwrite the chain addition buff in a chain addition boost in the same special, and he adds 1.4x to the chain multiplier for 1 turn. Special 20% HP cut in true damage to all enemies, reduces bind by 10 turns. If during that turn you score 4 perfects, he sets the chain boundary to 2.75 and 35x for 1 turn. If your character is driven or powerhouse, if your captain, is driven or powerhouse, sets the chain boundary to 3x and 40x for 1 turn, sets the chain boundary to 2.5 and 35x for 1 turn otherwise.
And they didn't talk about his super class.
His super class is in there. Well, thank you, Todd.
It's in the chat here, yeah.
So it requires any one of the Blackbeard Pirates and a base attack boost. Interesting. So both.
Yeah, so you can have the crew or a chain boost or a base attack boost.
Nice. And then his special is boost driven and powerhouse characters by 2.2 characters attack by 2.25 for 1 turn. Changes crew slots to tandem and in super powerhouse. Supports chain lock when the special is activated, and that attaches to basically all the Blackbeard Pirates.
Yeah, that's
interesting unit.
So
Very interesting unit.
It's if you guys have ever used V3 Blackbeard, it's kind of like that dual unit V3 Blackbeard in a similar way, where like depending on what type of special you use, he like changes it to do something else.
Yep.
So it's similar in that way, but they made it a base attack buff of 1250 and a chain burst of 1.4, which is pretty good.
Really good. Really good.
Yeah. I kind of dig it. I like that he makes int and tandem beneficial as well. That's kind of a nice change. But I mean, when you just look at it, it's just attack boost, health boost, matching slots. That's essentially what he does.
Yeah, exactly right. I think you put it really well in your video. You're like, it's a lot to read, but in reality, it's quite simple.
It is.
You know?
It's quite elementary.
It's quite elementary, dear Watson. I like his super class being a 2.25x attack boost. That's fucking sick. Like, you know, that's always super good to have, and full board of tandem, and then tandem will be beneficial as well. The chain boundary stuff is really weirdly worded, though. I don't like how it's worded. Because it's like, you pop the special, and then I'm assuming, okay, you pop the special, and if your captain is driven or powerhouse, the chain boundary is 3x to 40. If you pop the special and your captain isn't driven or powerhouse, it's 2.5x to 35.
Correct.
And then after 4 perfects, it goes to 2.75 and 35. So essentially you get 2 turns of chain boundary, but if your captain is driven powerhouse, it starts higher then gets a little lower, and if they aren't, it starts lower and gets a little higher.
I believe that is incorrect.
Ooh,
once again, the database. Oh my god.
Solaris!
Apparently, instead of 4 perfects, it's only 2 perfects.
Okay, well, that's better then, 100%.
Yeah.
I just wish it was like, I guess, worded a little different. It started off by saying, oh, your chain boundary will be 2.5 to 35. If your captain is this, it's, I don't know. Like, it's really weird to have 3 different variants of chain boundary within the same captain.
It's so weird. Like, it should have just been, like 3.0, and if you hit 2 perfects, you just get another one in the next turn.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, it should have been the base is, if your captain is driven powerhouse, you get 3.0, 2.75 otherwise. And if you hit 3 perfects, it becomes 3.0. So you either go from the 2.75 to 3, or you go from the 3 to the 3 again. That's what it probably should have been, to be a little bit more new, like simpler. Yeah. But I mean, still pretty decent. 2 turns of chain boundary is pretty nice. Over like two turns then technically, or 2 stages even.
And is a damage dealing special.
Yep. So a lot of supports to be for him there.
And there's the just a simple 10 turn of bind removal, kind of
Yeah,
interesting.
just cash 10 turns, no stress, right?
I like that. I actually really like that he does
Yeah,
that.
I do
Like
too.
sometimes that'll be super useful to have that because
I like
mean,
it. Yeah,
you can just chuck him on a team, get rid of a lot of bind, and then he also gives you chain boundary as well. Like it's good.
And yeah, because the chain boundary isn't like restricted to classes or whatever it is.
Correct.
So it's just like technically it's a rainbow. It's a rainbow at max 2.75 to 35 chain boundary. So like really good. You know, HP cut. I mean, in true damage, so that means. I believe true damage means goes through defense, barriers, percent damage reduction, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it goes through everything except for normal attacks only.
Yeah, normal attacks only. Okay. Cool.
Okay, because I was gonna ask what the fuck was true damage.
Yeah, I don't know why they type it like I don't get like with the database, why don't they just type it the exact same way that it's typed in game so there's no confusion, you know?
I think because like true damage is a very like MOBA thing, or like it's very like MMO thing. Like true damage is like it goes through everything, I suppose. So I guess like for a lot of people it's like pretty normal or like pretty common to understand. But us cool guys, we don't play those trashy games. I don't know what that shit means. He does have Super Tandem, and he's a TM legend. A lot of shit going on. Like he's fitting a lot of bills here. But level 1 Super Tandem requires you to have any 2 of his crew. And it boosts Driven and Powerhouse attack by 1.25, and that's a tandem attack, sorry. At level 5, it requires any 2 of his crew. And it boosts tandem attack of Driven and Powerhouse characters by 1.5. And it boosts the chain growth rate by 1.5 for 1 turn. Have we figured out yet if that is a tandem chain boost or if that's a regular chain boost?
I've heard mixed things. I haven't seen any footage with him yet. I probably should look it up. But people were saying that the chain boost from his Super Tandem is the same thing as like the Sanji Judge swap.
Oh, so it's the multiplicative one or whatever it is.
That's
right?
what I heard people saying, but I don't know if that was true or
That
not.
makes sense. That would make a lot more sense then.
With
So
his
it would
stuff that he
stack.
does. Yeah.
That makes a lot more sense if it's multiplicative then.
Yeah, so you got multiplicative from Super Tandem, you've got chain boost from Captain Ability, and then chain boundary with special.
Yeah, that makes way more sense.
And then you use Kid to get the tap timing chain thing as well.
There you go. Now you've covered all about bases. So that makes a lot more sense if it isn't a tandem, like a tandem chain multiplicative. It's just like a regular chain multiplicative then, because like I feel like that buff is pretty uncommon.
Yes.
I would say uncommon then. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's good. That's really good then. I like that.
That's the highest version of that buff too, because every other time it's been put out, it's always been 1.25.
Yeah, so 1.5 is insane. You know, that's a lot more damage. Like a lot more damage.
It's very good.
His Pirate Rumble kit. So level 5 ability is attack level 5 HP and attack up buff to int. Level 5 speed and defense up buff to powerhouse. Cringe. Rumble ability is on a 31 CT. Deals 2x attack and damage to all enemies in a large sideways range. Inflicts level 5 defense down to all enemies in a large sideways range for 15 seconds. Fuck you. You should have done the defense down first and then the attack.
Yeah, missed opportunity there.
He would have been so sick.
And even though his Rumble ability only gives like the attack and HP to int and then like speed defense to powerhouse, a lot of the characters are actually powerhouse. Like you got like Moria, Dorian Broggy are both powerhouse. Moria himself is powerhouse. Your rogue. So
a lot of int units surprisingly are int powerhouse driven, as a matter of fact. So like, what was the other unit we were talking about before? The kid. The kid fits perfectly.
Driven.
You know. So man. Yeah, he's Pirate Rumble. It's okay. It's an int unit in Pirate Rumble. Like, there's a lot more that needs to be done. If his special was defense first and then attack, instantly in like an int attack team. I mean, he probably will go in an int attack team straight away, regardless.
I mean, that special's still pretty high for 31 CT.
Yeah,
that is a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah, man, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not too happy with him as
I'm not convinced.
No, not yet.
Rumble, yeah. That's it. I just got to pull him today so that I can test him out.
Facts.
Yeah.
Let's go.
You pulled him, right? Didn't you?
I did pull him on the third multi. Yeah, that's right.
Bro, that's crazy.
Guess what? 6-star version as well. It's a curse,
Oh.
man. I don't care. I'll stay cursed, but
Yeah, we
like,
take those.
but like, kick him in, but like, it's so funny because like, I also pulled like, Dex Inu, and I was like, oh shit, new, and I'm like, wait a minute, I already have the 6-star version. I just pulled the 5-star variant of it. And I was like, okay, fair enough. But yeah, I pulled him. I mean, like, first of all, thumbs up, happy for the TM stuff to have him there. But I don't know, we'll have to wait and see how he kind of fares and rate content to come, I suppose. But what do you guys think? How do you guys feel about the captain ability, all that kind of stuff? Overall points out of 10.
I just think that he's like solid. Like he's
very strong.
He's not game breaking or anything,
Yep.
but he's just a solid unit that you can use to beat content with.
Agree. 100%.
I think he's going to see a lot of play as a sub, because that special is actually like, it doesn't do a lot, but it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And Blackbeard has a couple of okay supports as well.
Yep.
Like Lafitte, for example,
Lafitte's
and he's a
fantastic,
damage dealing special, so you can have more specials via that as well.
The TM Shiryu will attach to him as well, right?
Oh, correct.
The one that removes poison. Yeah, the one that removes poison, which is really good. Also, I just saw in his Sailor ability, he gets a 1 turn of cooldown whenever a driven or powerhouse character uses their special.
Exactly.
Pretty good there, for sure.
What's his max cooldown? Goes down to 12 after extension.
Yeah. I mean, he's a solid like 7.5, 8 for me. Like, he's just a solid character.
I'd give him 8.4.
There you go.
I'll give him a 8.25.
Perfect. That does it. Well done, lads. We get through. That's all the juices. Lots of legends as per usual. And officially as of today, the amount of legends, the amount of days it takes for a legend to release has gone down to 14.9. So we are encroaching on that 2 weeks per legend now.
That's crazy.
Very mental. And that's from the start of the game where it took 93 days for the second legend to be released. So like, you know, we are really flying now. But with that being said, into everyone's favorite section in other news, it's happened a while ago, but we hit top grossing, which is crazy.
Yay!
We beat out that stupid ass horse game. I don't know how Treasure Cruise managed to do it, but we did it. Fuck Uma Musume, piece of trash.
Well, it's kind of annoying too, because Global actually did hit top grossing as well in, like, I believe it was 2 countries we actually did it, but they never like acknowledged it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cringe.
But shout out to the fan base.
Still awesome to have that happen. Super cool. I love seeing that little art where it's like we like reached first place, because we rarely
old school artwork.
And it looks sick though, you know, like it actually looks really good. But we like never see that banner like ever. So to have it pop up was really neat.
Well, the last time it ever came out was when Japan had the anniversary during 2020, which I believe was Super Type
release. Yep. Luffy, Sabo, Katakuri, Blackbeard. Yep.
Snake Man.
Yep.
Yes, bro, that goat. Still the goat unit. Yannicka came out of the woodworks again, and she did an 8th anniversary broadcast video, which is about like 40 minutes long or around that. It's pretty long video. Video contained a really nice like chat/conversation with a bunch of the content creators that help with the tutorial series. And she also showed off a bunch of the hashtag #MyOPTC memory tweets. I made it on there. Positive Twitter presence inbound. You know the vibes, man.
Let's go.
Let's go. Making my way up in the world. But
shout out Sosa.
You know, that was really cool. Bunch of people won some prizes as well. I believe a few people we know won some prizes, which is always nice to see.
Yeah, quite a lot of people in the community that we know won prizes, which is awesome, and some people are receiving their gifts as of the recording of this video.
Beautiful.
So that's great.
Awesome. That's fun. It was a great video. Loved it. Would have been nicer for it to come out a little earlier in 8th Annie, but now we're nitpicking, I suppose. But nonetheless, happy with that video, and I think more kind of interactive content like that, the better, 100%. I love it. I think it's super fun.
Yeah.
The June medal shop is out and about. At the 400 medal tier, we have Ulti Page 1, Magellan, Germa Sugar. 250, we have Sober Mask, Inuneko. 150, we have Tesoro V1 Cruzan. And at the 100 tier, we have a special rare recruit Rebecca and a special rare recruit Kobe. I don't know where they're from, but they're very early on.
Yeah, they were just like old school limited rare recruits.
They're like unit number 1000. So they're very long time ago. But
old.
I mean, probably Ulti Page 1 is pretty good pickup.
Yeah, if you don't have them.
If you want to whale out Inu and Neko to 150s, maybe a good shout to get the two copies of then. Sober Mask, if you haven't got him yet, also a very good idea to grab it. And Germa. And Sugar. Actually, it's all pretty good. For the most part, I think the mentality is like, Metal Shop comes out, see what you're missing, wait till after you do all your pulls for the month, and then before the Metal Shop leaves, purchase what you need to purchase. So, really nice there. There was the 8th anniversary survey that has been concluded for quite some time now, but end rewards have been distributed for that. I think it was 5 gems.
Yeah,
That's some pretty generic questions of like, what are your thoughts on 8th anniversary? What were the best events or the worst events? Blah, 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 blah. So like,
yeah, it's essentially the same type of survey that we've got in the past.
Exactly right. So hopefully the people filled that out and, gave some really good feedback. I know I did, that's for sure. And, hopefully moving forward, we continue to get those surveys, not just for the 5 gems, but, Yannicka does definitely collate all that information, and it is super useful to get the information, especially from the global players' perspective about JP events and stuff like that, for sure. Let me see. What else do we have here? We have the Arena Devon, which we kind of touched on a little bit. No longer will copies be guaranteed. They will be luck-based drops, essentially. So if you want to max out the unit, you just have to keep farming until you get the drops. Pretty straightforward there, so nothing too stressful. Unfortunately, no level limit break stuff, though. Which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, because didn't they mention that was going to be happening?
They did, which is annoying. So I'm curious to see if maybe Devon was designed or the content was already programmed before the drops were added, or I don't know. So hopefully the next arena has them available, but I guess maybe they just not going to do it because they'd be kind of broken if you could farm level limit break materials. Give and take, I suppose. That's about it there. And then finally, there were 3 TM point characters added to the TM shop. That is like the Wano Invasion Jinbei that like locks slots on. His support is
He's
really
so good.
His support's really good for like Yamato and Luffy. There is that I don't know what kind of Usopp that is, but he's there as well. And there is also a Bon Clay. Probably get the Jinbei if you're out of the 3. Jinbei 100%. Otherwise, don't really stress.
Yeah, Jinbei is amazing. Just the all blocking supports are so valuable.
100%. Especially because he attaches to Yamato. And Yamato gives you Wano slots. So locking the Wano slots
attaches to any free spirit unit.
Yeah, well, exactly. And like, so like getting those Wano slots and locking them is amazing.
Yeah. Yep.
That's about it there. So before we get into everyone's favorite section, after their favorite section, I want to give a shout out to our GGP members. Shout out to you guys. Thank you for your continued support. We greatly appreciate it. And if you are, in a position where you can financially support us, you're enjoying the content, you want to give a little bit back, down there where the subscribe button is, if you haven't hit that, make sure you subscribe. It helps us out a great deal. But also next to that, there is the join button. There's a bunch of different tiers at a bunch of different price ranges. You have no obligation to do so, but it does help us out, and we really do appreciate it. So I want to give a shout out to our good members of Rion, Stump, Dave, the Inhuman, Red Halo, and Dr. Erection. Shout out episode 69. The great members of My Drunken Monkey, Cody, and Void Seeker. The perfect member of Kisa, and our 3 GGP producers of The Lord Shiro, Alex Wisniewski, and Portuguese Sosa. Thank you very much for your support, guys. Greatly appreciate it. And
Thanks,
from
guys.
Everyone's favorite section into everyone's favorite section, it's the Q&A.
Let's go.
As per usual, if you have any questions, send them in to us via our Twitter at GGP Podcast or our YouTube community tab. First question comes in from Alex. He asks, Banner has informed you that your OPTC profile has been infected with the virus and you can only save up to 5 of your units to transfer to a new account. The rest go into the void. Which units are you saving?
Oh, no. Oh, I tell you what. Bonsai Akainu, because he ain't never coming out again.
Coming back.
Come through Luffy.
Yep, that's 2. I'm down. I'm down to
We
say
gotta,
those
if you're
two.
doing the Bonsai Akainu, you got to do that Kuzan as well.
Yep,
The
that's
one on
3.
the boat.
Down.
Custard.
Custard.
Good one. Yes.
Custard ain't ever coming back if you didn't pick her up from the race shop or whatever it was.
What other, has there been another like super restricted unit that like no one has?
Maybe any of like were any of the world class units any good? That Blackbeard, right? Was
Blackbeard or the
crazy?
Akainu were
Yeah,
pretty
one of
good.
those, I guess.
Yeah.
There you go. That's our list of just super exclusive characters that are never coming back. I mean, that would probably be the right way to go about it. Because I'm assuming, like, if we're transferring to a new account, everything's still available. So, like,
Yeah.
saving the super exclusive characters is probably for
You
the
just gotta
best.
get them again.
Even if they aren't useful, like, doesn't matter. Like, I mean, might as well, right? So
Mhm.
I'm glad we're all on the same page there. That's awesome. All right. Next question from I'm So Crazy Random. They ask, when you delete someone from your friends list, do you disappear off their friends list as well? I know this is a strange question to ask. I'm not sure.
I believe
actually.
so. I mean, you have to add.
I would agree.
Because like someone has to potentially go to add you, and then you have to accept it for you to show up in the first place. So I assume if you delete them, you will not show up on their side.
And you both have to have space in your friend lists anyway to add each other. So that would make sense. Yeah. There you go.
So.
Next question from @RedHalo Gaming. He asks, "Hello, gents. What legend do you think needs level limit break buffs the most, and which one are you most looking forward to getting said buffs?" Needs the most. I mean, I don't think there's anything that I think needs the most. I feel like a lot of the old characters will just get them with time, but I think we talked about it, but it's like I don't really see myself going out of my way to use these characters in content, I suppose.
True. I think
yeah.
I think in terms of characters that like actually probably need it, I think a character like Cavendish,
could
probably get one.
I would agree with you 100% there. 100 million.
Because he's just bad in like every way. I mean, his support's okay at times, but
I agree.
Fujitora V2.
Yeah, Fuji needs
fucking
some
dog
V2?
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, V2. He does nothing unless you're a captain. Yeah, he's so dog shit.
I mean, just think of the other characters that he came out around, right? So characters that surrounded him were Lucy, V1 Judge, and then Dex Dofi. Like, and he came out in between those. Like, bruh, what are you doing?
Come on, dog. That ain't it, man. That ain't it. In terms of units I would like to see getting a buff. Has Shirahoshi got one yet? No, she has. Oh, well, she hasn't. Okay. I would love to see. I think Shirahoshi would be pretty interesting to see what happens with her.
V1 Katakuri.
Yeah, V1 Katakuri getting one would be really pog. Inu and Neko, I think that would be really cool because they might be able to do some Pirate Rumble shenanigans with them as well. Like, you know, and have
V1 Law.
Yo.
Yeah, he could do some nasty stuff, I think.
Yeah, I'm in for that for sure.
Makes your specials go through normal attacks only. What?
Holy fuck.
Oh.
Bullet! He's back!
Bullet, stay winning.
He's back. I'm down. All those sound incredible. Instantly awesome, fantastic. Was there anything else? Knight, did you have any other characters?
Hody, of course.
Oh yeah, the goat, Hody. Hody, and then combine it with Kid.
That would be based.
That would be based as fuck. I'm in. Bring back Fortnites, man. Let me just speed farm with Hody.
Yes, sir.
All right, next question from @Lars Big Bird. They ask, "Hi team, do you think there are enough opportunities for free-to-play players to earn gems now that GARP Challenge don't reset every month? Keep up the great work. Thank you very much." They've been pretty generous this past month with gems, that's for sure. But I mean,
yeah, anniversary helped a lot.
It is anniversary.
I think it comes down to playing those monthly like farming events.
Yeah.
Those give a lot of majority of free gems come from.
They give like 50 gems or whatever for all the point farming stuff nowadays. Like I don't know if that's true or not, but it's a lot of gems.
I know definitely the one with Killer that just came out was a lot less than the one that was out previously.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was like 30 or 20, but nonetheless though, a lot of gems.
So you want to be playing that as much as you possibly can, get those rewards out of that.
Logging in every day, because there's also now we have the which I'm very surprised about. We never talked about it, but the whole Pirate Alliance login bonus now is a permanent thing. So every like 15 days, you get like 5 gems, some scrolls, you get a Kizuna potion. Like it's really cool. Like that whole login is now permanent, like recycling, repeating thing. Like,
Yeah,
it's
I've seen it pop up every day, but I never really took the time to actually look at it. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, I'll take that.
It's just and because I remember it reset, so now we're back to it again. So it seems like it's just a constant like login bonus. It's additional stuff as well there, which login
And
bonus is always fantastic.
Another thing as well is like it's probably not for I guess raw free to play, but if you guys are willing to spend like a very small amount of money, I would suggest buying those monthly packs where
Yep,
you
they
log in
add
for
up.
25 days.
They add
So
up.
valuable for the
Yeah.
price that you pay.
It's like 9. It's it's 13 or 14 Australian dollars.
I think it's around there like 10 what American or just below
Yeah.
that. And you
Yeah,
get
it's
like
like
100 gems.
$9.
You get 9 gems straight away, and then you get basically 100 gems trickled out over like a month period.
Yeah.
So 109 gems for like 10 USD. It's fucking incredible, you know what I mean? You know, you might as well take it. And that adds up to the daily. So then you add like 4 gems daily, 2 login bonuses, let's say.
Yeah, you end
so
up getting like
6
6 or 7 gems a day or some shit.
Chopper Man mission 7. The island every day is 8 now.
Daily Pirate Rumble matches.
Daily Pirate Rumble, you know, so like there's a lot. Pirate Rumble also actually does give out a pretty decent amount of gems too. Not a lot, but it does give out some gems there as well. So there's a lot of ways to get gems. You're not going to get thousands of them naturally, which we'd all love.
Time.
But like, yeah, it's a grind. But
I mean,
there is opportunities.
Just free to play this year. Like, how many gems have free to play received this year
Probably,
alone? Like,
probably on average 400-500 plus a month. I would say.
Like, I think in total since the year began, surely it's been like over like what 2,000 to 3,000.
I would say upwards
range?
of 2,000. I'd agree
It's
with you. Upwards of
crazy.
2,000, which is really good. If you compare it back to like 2-3 years ago, no shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next question at BBJ077. He asked, "Hi guys, since it's episode 69, updated waifu tier list when? Also, can't wait for the food tier list. Keep up the amazing work and thank you." That's a good shout.
Yeah,
we
gotta just find time for it.
I reckon, like, what my mentality is, like, what we could do, and this now I'm breaking the fourth wall with a bunch of the listeners as well, right? What we could do is, we could record an off ep, and then do the waifu tier list, and if, like, the ep is, like, an hour and a half long, we could still continue chatting for, like, 30 more minutes or whatever, and then we could release the waifu ep, like, the tier list as its own thing. As like a separate video as well.
One of the separate week episodes. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So like,
Yeah.
I think that's probably the play. So waifu tier list hopefully coming soon. I mean, that's put it back on my radar for sure. And also that food tier list is still sitting there with me. So we'll have a chat about that amongst us, and we'll hopefully get that sorted sometime soon.
Mm-hmm.
Next question from Portuguese Sosa. He asks, "Guys, would you ever try yellow mustard on watermelon? It's surprisingly really good. Keep up the good work."
Bro, what
No.
the hell?
You fucking psychopath. No.
Don't invite this guy to the party.
No, you're not invited to the party, man. This guy is not invited to the party.
Yellow mustard watermelon?
I'm not trying to put
What?
slices of watermelon out for the gang, and then they have this guy in the corner pouring mustard on it. No shot. That ain't happening, Chief.
I can understand where it's coming from, because like mustard is like kind of sweet, and it's like kind of got a bit of a tartness, and I think it would kind of work with watermelon, but it just sounds gross.
Like my parents.
You want to hear something else disgusting?
Here we go.
All right, so I've been watching this one streamer recently, and he keeps saying like, "Oh, you should put like a little bit of salt in your chocolate milk. It like brings out the chocolate or something."
I
I'm like,
get
ew,
it, but
what?
I get it, but
No,
like
yeah.
in if like sea salt chocolate like pieces, delicious for me.
Yeah,
I enjoy that.
yeah.
But like I ain't trying to drink chalky milk and be putting like salt flakes in there. Like,
Salt.
that's kind of
Right.
it's kind of weird, man. I don't know. I don't fuck with that at all. That's kind of weird for me.
Well,
No shot. All right, don't invite this guy to the party. That's for sure. But thanks for your support on the GGP members. At Donkey69, fitting. They ask, favorite unique ability: V3 Blackbeard special conversion, Toki ability, Toy Soldier, So Must Vanish, etc.
favorite unique ability.
Honestly, Cyborg Frankie, the Frankie is pretty cool, especially now that especially after figuring out that it can go through like attack limiting, the damage limiter. Sorry, I think that's really cool now. I still think Soma Mask is really cool. I think probably Toki's or Sugar are probably my two favorites. I would say Sugar's incredible, but not that
Not
much
being
anymore.
biased or anything, but I do like Katakuri's delay.
Yeah, that's a good one as
Of
well.
course.
That's a really, really good one too.
It's pretty neat.
That is a really, really good one. I would say that for sure. Cool.
What
Night, you
about
got
you,
one?
Knight? What did you like?
Yeah, I'd probably say like sugar or, I mean, it's kind of hard because it's not really unique, but like the reflect abilities of like
Yeah,
law
yeah,
and
Oh, yeah.
shit.
yeah.
I like those, yeah.
Those are really cool. Those are really,
Yep.
really cool. Awesome. Twitch Maniac. He asks, right now, arenas are clearly designed for low-level players. What would you like to see for older players? In my opinion, a challenge mode that's really hard with similar difficulty to Grand Voyage, but no restriction, as well as shop missions that ask you to use something like 25 to 30 unique units. Well, I wouldn't go to that much far, but I do think that a challenge mode arena that gave you like 10, 15, 20 gems after completing it would be really cool. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah,
To do, like, a
I
challenge
do
mode
agree that
arena.
they should probably give like they should make it worth farming, because at this point, like, you're only really playing it for like maybe half an hour and then you've just done everything.
Yeah.
So they really need to give you a reason to keep going back to it, whether it be adding a really special drop or something,
Yep.
or like level limit break materials would be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
They need to add more stuff to it. I think I agree, but at the same time, I think the changes that they've made to the arena are better for the healthiness of the game, in my
Correct.
opinion.
I agree 100%. I think a challenge mode would be the best way to introduce level limit breaking materials to arena. So you complete the challenge mode and you get like a couple of each color or something like that, or whatever it is.
Right.
And you get some gems. Maybe a key would be pretty cool. More keys, the better, I suppose, for people.
Yeah.
Like, I think that would be a great idea. And making the challenge mode like super challenging, super difficult. You know, more content like that, the better as well. Again, fantastic. So I agree. I think a challenge mode to arena would be super cool. Great idea. Next question from Twants. Tony, what's going on? Opinions on Diablo Immortal.
Yeah, I've been playing it a little bit.
You got $100,000 lying around?
Like, the thing is the game itself is actually a really well built game, but it sucks that the monetization model has kind of soured the taste
Yeah, I agree.
of the game.
Yeah.
Because if you took out the fact that the game is so pay to win, and you just look at the game as its gameplay stands, for everything that it stands for, the game is a very, very well developed game, especially
Yeah.
because it's a mobile game as well. It's really well done.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Blizzard is shitty, so it's
Big
as simple
facts.
as that.
Big facts. I haven't played
Yeah.
it yet. I don't think I will play it.
What do you mean?
I'm not-
You've been shown in the game before. Didn't you see the picture?
Oh shit, yeah. Knight doesn't even know. Dude, Carissa sends a screenshot in, and there's just like some guy who's called Captain Puppy. He's just in the game. He's fucking jacked my name, you piece of trash.
Some dude jacked his name. It's
What
crazy.
the fuck, man?
Bruh.
How am I gonna play? How can I play now? Like, I can't. What the
That's
fuck?
wild.
That's crazy. That's mad. Are you gonna try it now?
Yeah, I see them. No, probably not. Just because I heard about the like monetization stuff, which I mean I don't have a problem with
Yeah, of
in
course.
games like if you want to like make money off a free game, like there's like you could do that, but like I feel like the way that, at least from what I've heard, the way it's been implemented, where it's like you should do it, it's kind of scummy. So
Yeah.
not
Like,
my
what
type
they
of
really
deal.
should have done is like they've got a battle pass system right now, which gives you like a couple of additional items and stuff. I think that is fine, because it doesn't give
Yeah.
you that much of an advantage. It just gives you a couple extra stuff. Like, I think that's okay because it supports the developers and blah blah blah. But then what they should have done is just make everything else that is monetization is just purely cosmetic. I think that would have been way
Yeah,
better.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
That's the way they should have done.
There you go. Next question. At Definitive Zach, he asks, give me all of your weeb origin stories, all the embarrassing details included. Go. I'll
Wait,
give
what?
these time. So what's your weeb origin story? So how'd you get into anime, to the whole culture, I suppose, is what he's asking. Like
Okay.
what prompted you? I'll start, give you guys some time to think. School, that's probably where start. One of my friends, he was super into like he was watching Attack on Titan at the time, like the first season, and he had been in anime, and like he was like, you gotta watch Attack on Titan, and I got super into Attack on Titan, and then basically we would just watch anime all the time, and then he was basically the one that got me into One Piece like full fledged, and his same guy got me into OPTC. So fuck that guy, piece of trash. I kept going, and he quit ages ago. But
Wow.
but and you know what? Sadly enough, he is my best friend. So like, he's also a piece. He's also a great dude. But yeah, I basically at school he said watch Attack on Titan. I watched it, and then I just went down the rabbit hole of like watching all like the old classics, like catching up on a bunch of like Death Note, blah blah blah. And then yeah, and then now we're here, more degenerate than ever, I suppose. Thank God Flame isn't here. He'd have some like intricate,
Oh
like
my god.
interwoven
God.
story of like how the gods blessed him with fruits basket or some shit, and now he's sat there like reviewing.
I was in the library and I noticed a girl in a cute dress, and I was like, "Oh wow, you're so kawaii."
and she ended up and she watched anime, so I started watching anime, and now I'm a React Andy.
Oh, Sugoi ne.
Oh my god.
What about you guys though? What are your origin stories of getting into the weeb culture, I suppose?
You good, Knight?
You want to go first, Todd?
yeah, I'll go.
I can go.
Go.
Okay. All right, you go.
Knight, go. Yeah.
Me? All right.
Yeah,
So
go. Hit it.
basically, so I used to go to Tennessee, which is, for the people who don't live in the U.S., it's a small. No, I wouldn't say small. It's a decent size state in the U.S., and that's where like a lot of my family is, and my cousins. I didn't really have any video games like in my earlier years, so
Yeah.
when I went to my cousin's house, they would have video games, and they had Budokai Tenkaichi
Yes,
2 or
sir.
3
Yes.
on
Yes,
the
sir.
GameCube.
Yes.
So I would play that with them, and I was like, "Oh wow, I like this shit." So when I went back home, I watched Dragon Ball, and then somewhere like down the line, like my brother and we just both started reading manga, and like he would like show me stuff that he would read, and then I would just get into it from there. So that's pretty much my weeb origin story. Nothing too crazy, but like I started with stuff like Dragon Ball, Inuyasha, Fairy Tail, yeah, stuff like that. That's pretty much my origin story.
Dope.
Yeah.
What about
I
you,
guess
Todd?
like most kids, I remember watching Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh and Digimon as a kid,
Yeah.
and through schooling and stuff. And then as I got towards the end of schooling, I kind of like stopped. But then like as I was getting into making YouTube videos, when I used to do Pokemon videos, one of my good friends in the community, Feint Attack, shout out to Chrissy, he was the one that got me onto like watching like other anime. So it was like stuff like the first one I remember he got me to watch was Sword Art Online, the classic.
Classic.
And
Let's go.
at the time I was like, oh my god, like this is like
This is a
really cool,
masterpiece,
man. Yeah, this is like the best thing I've ever seen, man. This is so cool. And then like moving into other stuff like Death Note and Attack on Titan, I'm like, holy shit, like anime is actually so good. There's like so many good stories and awesome characters and stuff. And then randomly, one afternoon on my school holiday, like at the end of the year, so schooling's finished and didn't have much to do. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna check out One Piece, because I remember watching the 4Kids dub as a kid. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember like some of this stuff. Luffy with the rubber powers, pretty cool. And then I decided, I'm just gonna sit down and I'm gonna start watching it and see how it goes. And then the rest is history.
There you go.
And I watched
Yeah.
like all of One Piece at the time up until like mid Dressrosa, until like it took me like maybe like a month to get through it all. But I'd like binged it every day. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So good though.
There we go. It's our stories. At Obsidian Steed, they ask, can you recall a fear that you've grown to overcome as time has progressed? Hope you all continue to strive to keep a strong mental kings. Your podcast has been pleasing to our ears. Thank you very much. That's very nice words.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
A fear that you've grown to overcome as time has progressed. Ooh.
I can do that.
Yeah, go.
For a long time, like ever since I was a kid, I've been afraid of heights, and
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I would say I'm still like afraid of them, but like as I've gotten older, like they don't scare me as much. Like when
Mhm.
I was like 16 or 17, that was like the first time I ever went on a plane,
Oh, yeah.
and I wasn't really scared of. For some reason, like planes don't scare me, but like being in tall buildings or like the thought of being on a roller coaster or something
Yeah.
like scares me more.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
I guess that was like a point that changed like the fear to like it's I used to be like deathly afraid, but now it's just kind of like a uh I get like a shudder, I guess.
Mm.
And like over the summer when I was working as a bartender, I worked in a skyscraper, which
Wow.
is really fucking tall, and I had to take a long ass elevator every day to get to my job, and it was pretty frightening like the first like couple of days, but after a while it's kind of like whatever. If the building shakes and falls, it's like fuck it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wasn't
right.
gonna live that long anyways. But
Exactly,
you know,
exactly right. That's
yeah,
good.
I would say
That's
like
good.
heights is like the thing that I've learned to overcome. Like I still probably won't go on like roller coasters and stuff just because of fucking Final Destination and all those like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that just those movies just fucked me. But
Oh, big time.
like most other heights, like I'm not too bad about.
There you go. What
Okay.
do you got, Todd?
Hmm. Um. Hmm. Can't really think of too many I'm like afraid of a lot of different things. Like I mean like spiders and stuff. Like yeah, like I don't like them, but
Yeah,
as
I'm
soon
the
as I see
same.
it, I'm like, oh shit, that's a spider. Back off a bit, and I'll just like, oh, I'm gonna go get a shoe, or I'll go get some bug spray or whatever. I'll kill it.
That's same as
But
me.
like, I can't think of anything that I've been like totally petrified of. But
Yeah.
one thing that I remember as a kid going up through early stages of school, I used to hate public speaking,
Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah,
that was like kind of a big fear, like being up in front of everybody and like embarrassing yourself. Like I
Yeah.
felt like that was always like a pretty big fear. I think a lot of people kind of have that fear as well.
oh
And
definitely.
yeah, definitely going through like YouTube and stuff and streaming, that's helped a lot with dealing with public speaking. So that's been pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But like
It's kind
yeah, I can't
of
think of too many things.
it's kind of ironic though. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you're a content man, and you had the initial fear of like public speaking and
Yeah, and
such.
it's been good because since doing the YouTube, like every time we have to do a talk in front of the class or do a presentation, like I always smash it. Like I can't even remember a time I did a public presentation and I hadn't got a good score for it. Like I
Yeah,
always smashed it
totally.
out of the park. Um but yeah, definitely it's helped because of that. But yeah, like there's lots of things out there that I'm afraid of. Like I don't know. I can't really think
I'm
of anything.
no, I'm in a very similar boat. Sorry, where it's like there's nothing that I'm like petrified or fearful of. But for example, like if I see like a snake or a spider, which like you see, I'm like, oh shit,
Yeah, stay away
like
from that.
stay away from that thing and move on with my day. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna be like stand still. Like my sister has arachnophobia, so even
hmm
like the smallest of spider, it freezes up completely.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And I have to step in, I just like
Yeah.
take it out. But like but like it's yeah, I don't think I have anything that like there's things I dislike. Like I don't want to like I'm not the big like I'm fine with heights, but I'll still like look down and be like, that's pretty far
Yeah,
away.
when I
You know
was
what I
talking
mean?
about that, I'm like, because like I always like had a fear of of being high up and scared of heights, but
Yeah.
like I kind of take it as like I'm more afraid of just falling rather
That's
than
what
the
I'm
heights
afraid of.
itself.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, yep.
Because
That's
like
what
if I'm at a if I'm at a
Yep.
really high point and I look off the edge, I'm like, oh, we're really high up. I'm not scared of being really high up. I'm just scared of the fact
Like
that oh,
what if
if
I
I fall off
fall?
here, I'm fucking
What if I
dead.
fall? If I fall, it's like I'm gonna be dropping for a long time, and then I'm just gonna splat. like it's done. You know
Yeah,
what I
so
mean?
like, if I'm high up somewhere, but I know for sure that I'm okay, then that's fine. But like
Totally.
if it's like doing one of those challenges where you got to like go across a certain thing and it's really high up, or you're up on a ladder and you're doing some work on a ladder, like that can be a little bit scary at
All right,
times.
that's what we're spending the GGP budget on. We're all gonna travel together somewhere, and we're all gonna go bungee jumping as a team building exercise.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Come on, guys, come on! It's team building.
No.
Absolutely not. Oh, just
But,
like my mom's so different to me though, right? Because like my mom
Yeah.
always does all the crazy shit. Like she actually like
yeah.
wants to go skydiving. I'm like, bro, what?
Like, see,
No, I'm like, I would
I'm
never
like,
do that.
I would be like, if I want to go skydiving and do all that kind of stuff, but I know that when the moment came, I would be like, like I'd be so petrified. But I feel like obviously I'm not in a position where like I'm afraid of heights. I'd be kind of I would regret not taking an opportunity if it like popped up, I suppose. You know,
Right.
so like
That's fair.
Yeah. Good answers, guys. There we go. We got team building sorted for next year. All right, let's get back on to the next question then, I guess. From the Lord Shiro. Sup, boys? Where do you guys think the best spot to farm XP materials is? I personally believe that the drop event with the total items is the best, but everyone I talk to about it seems to think that I'm an idiot and that the 5-stam quest is better. By my calcs, the potential is far better doing the drop event compared to the 5-stam, but just curious what you think. If you would like some elaboration on my calculations, hit me up. I had some thought of this question a bit beforehand, and I think that naturally, like, the rainbow farming, the rainbow turtle events would probably be better to farm, but it kind of is hindered, A, on drop luck, and B, on if you have units that give you more drops. Not every player is going to be in a position where they have the max team and can get like 20 drops or whatever. But if you do have like all the units, it's much better for you to probably spend the stam to get those drops. But on the contrary though, the 5-stam quest guarantees you like, I think it's like 5 Elder Turtles or whatever, or minimum 4 Elder Turtles. I think an Elder Turtle, I can't remember.
The 5-stem quest, I think, gives you a Princess Turtle, right?
Oh, it's the Hime one. Oh, the
Yeah,
Turtle Island's
guaranteed.
gone. Ah, fuck. I was looking at the Turtle. No, the Hime one's trash. Because you only farm it once. Like, if in this day and age, if you're struggling for materials, you should farm the Hime Turtle every day. You know? But, like, I mean,
They
at the
need
end of
to
the day,
do something regarding
Yes.
EXP materials, though, because, like...
it's too expensive per stam. Like,
give me
30
more
stam to
silver
run is...
lobsters.
Running 30 stam to get the rainbow turtles isn't that good. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
it just isn't that good. And I don't want to sit there and spend all this stamina and have to pull for the units to get more drops. There needs to be a middle ground where it's like a 10 or 15 stam island. Here's an idea that Bando has never done before, right? A 10 to 15 stam island where there's like turtles on the island. And then you like farm the island and you get turtles dropped. It could be called like Turtle Island or something like that, right?
Oh.
But, I don't know if they're going to do that. That might be a bit too broken, right? But yeah, there needs to be a middle ground. But I would probably say that farming the drop events is better. Just because like there are a lot more options for units that dupe the drops and you get more stam overall. But I guess then there's also, if you really want to get granular, it's a 5 stam event. The Hime Island is 5 stamina. You can like run the calc to calc how much EXP you get in 5 stam, and then compare that to like an average of like 30 runs, and then divide it by 6 to get 5 stams per run of the Rainbow Turtle event, and blah 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 blah. You can get a better average like that. Maybe one day if I'm bored, I'll do it on stream, but fuck that. That's it. But either or, just farm everything. I mean, the Rainbow event is for the best because you can just constantly keep farming that at a rapid rate. So there you go. Next question from Omni. Howdy homies. Since there has been nothing much going on with OPTC, I've been doing some level limit break on the Clash slash Coliseum units. Have you guys been doing the same, and how's your progress so far? It's a good idea, actually.
I have not been doing that. I'll only do it if they get announced to receive an ability up, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a good point too. I've done it to like sometimes passively like burn stam. But otherwise, like I haven't actively gone and farmed it. But I would probably fall into to Todd's category and be like, yeah, if they get announced for something, I'll go farm them up because might as well. Done, quick and easy. Next question from Adam. They ask, "Hey, GP crew, love the content. My question is, with Bandai planning to rework the Bandai Friend Captain eventually, what are some features you would love to see? Personally, I'd love to be able to search for a character for the Bandai Friend Captain to become, making it easier to run with older legends or more niche legends that are hard to find in my friends list." I think we've kind of touched on it before, but I think it's Todd's idea of like having it so like a player can put up like 8 different characters as a friend captain, or like 5 different characters as friend captains, and having them always active for people to access is probably the best way to go about it.
Yep. I think that's probably the best way to do it.
Like, I don't expect the Bandai friend captain to be like cracked out completely, because then essentially you wouldn't need any friends on your friends list for the most part. Like very, very rarely would you, right? So like, I think that running it so you can put in multiple units as potential friend captains for other people on your friends list is probably for the best. Yeah. That's probably the best way to approach it.
It's just the smartest way to do it.
Correct. Alright, next question from Dr. Erection and Gooseman, Straw Hat Goose. So they asked pretty similar questions, so I put them together. Hey guys, congrats on reaching such an important episode. With the recent news regarding the One Piece hiatus, I was wondering how you guys think the story will progress. Are you excited that the story is reaching its conclusion soon? Any plot points you hope will be elaborated on? I don't know if we want to even bother with spoilers, because that's effort. But I guess we'll talk about the saga whole thing, and not like the other ladder of it. How do you guys feel about the whole like 1 month break overall?
It's gonna fucking suck.
Yes. Yes. Actually, yes. It's gonna be horrible. But I mean, Otter deserves that break, and if it's for the best for him to be able to, if it's for the best for him to be able to plan the rest of the series out, then I'm looking forward to it. Like, nonetheless, it's gonna make it even better than what it already is. So I'm very keen to see what happens after.
Yeah, 1 month break is crazy, and it's for the anime and the manga too.
Yeah, which is insane, right?
So
yeah,
there's literally no One Piece content at all coming out that month.
Sad. We're gonna have to. How are we gonna survive a month? You know.
I know. I won't be able to cope, man.
I think the funniest part is people being like, "Oh, it's the final arc." It's like, no, you dimwit. It said saga, and it has always said saga. Saga could mean like 6 more arcs, hypothetically. You know.
Yeah.
We don't know for sure, because like technically the whole like taking down of Kaido and Big Mom was a saga for the most part,
right?
And that stretched over from Punk Hazard to Wano. So like that's a lot of arcs embedded there alone, and a lot of chapters too. So like I would say that we're still like there's still a hefty chunk of One Piece left to go, nonetheless. Unless Odd is like, you know what, fuck it, final arc. Let's go. Let me rest, like, man.
This because like we still have to deal with the stuff that happened at Reverie, which we don't know what happened yet.
Correct.
We still have to deal with getting all of the road poneglyphs. We have to get to Larktail.
Yep.
We have to deal with Blackbeard in some way, shape, or form, and probably deal with Emu in the world government in some way. So there's still a lot that needs to happen.
There's so many other, like, Elbaf needs to pop up potentially at some point. Like, there's a lot of loose ends that haven't been, like, kind of revealed per se. So, like, there's
I want to see what my man NL is up to.
Yeah, what's NL doing on the moon? Like, you know.
I want to see
like,
Bullet.
Yeah, where's Bullet at? Like, you know.
But honestly, Shiki's still in the world somewhere.
Yeah, Shiki's chilling somewhere.
True.
Will Zebek make a comeback? Like, you know, it's there's a lot to.
Oh, we're gonna see Dragon.
Dragon's gonna appear at some point again, right? Like,
will Shanks make his move finally?
Yeah, will Shanks make his 2021 move in 2022? There's a lot. So, like, I hope that what this break means, and I mean, I trust Otter. Otter's released masterpiece after masterpiece every week, right? So, like, I'm really hoping that what this, like, break means that the final saga can be really well mapped out and every chapter just hits every time. So, I'm looking forward to it for sure. Not the break, but the post-break stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. And, you know, continuing on the episode 69 theme from Wankerfella every time, man.
Oh god.
Hey boys, keep the real talk coming. Seeing as this is episode 69, it brought back the fond memory of when I was playing OPTC in class during a lecture and my headphone battery died all of a sudden, and out comes one big scream from Ojishi Orochi on my phone speakers. You all know what sound I'm talking. You know, let's just say I never use Shirahoshi during class again. With that being said, what are you guys' opinions on playing OPTC in the following scenarios? During class / lecture. I've done that. Easy.
Done that quite a few times.
Same.
On a first date?
Acceptable. You have to be like, hey.
I think I've gone to the bathroom and like opened Treasure Cruise up. I would say that for sure.
Have you checked out the really cool iPhone game One Piece Treasure Cruise?
The hit iPhone game One Piece Treasure Cruise. During church service. I mean, I think I've done that as well.
Doable.
Worth it.
On the toilet seat, I pull on the toilet seat.
Dude,
Pause on that.
literally
Exactly.
every time. Yes.
At a strip club, funny story. Joba.
Oh, here we go.
not to throw Joba under the bus here, but there was a blitz battle going on, and Joba really wanted to beat Trunks.
God, I remember this.
So Joba was invited by his friends to a strip club, and instead of like enjoying the atmosphere, I suppose, he sat playing blitz the whole time. Turns out he didn't even win. All that he didn't even win.
Shout out to Joba.
Shout out to Joba one time, man.
Fucking guy.
And lastly, in the hospital while you're holding your wife's hand while she's in labor, pushing out your firstborn. True story. What do you mean? Hold on. Whoa, what the fuck?
Hey, yo.
True story. Hey, yo. No.
No, dude. Surely not.
No shot on that one. No shot on that one. That's crazy.
I feel like that's acceptable.
No,
sorry,
shut
honey.
up.
Sorry, honey. I'm nearly at 7 million points. I need to keep farming.
Wait, babe, stop, babe. I'm trying to get to 10 mil. Babe, the Kizuna's on and Todd is yelling at me. I need to farm.
Holy shit, this red bell's just kind of crazy.
Oh shit, I got 4 reds. Babe, come see this. First thing the kid sees out of the womb is like a waifu unit with like just big titties or whatever. It's like, oh fuck, man, this kid's fucked. Oh. Hope you guys have a happy ending to this episode 69. Thank you very much. I always get a happy ending. Anyway, next and final question.
Hey, yo.
From CS Wins, Cody, Peanut Butter Burger Boy. Wrap it up, big man. Hey guys, as always, a massive thanks for the work that you do. Episode 69 is no doubt going to be a real banger. Since I can't remember if this is an OPTC or off-topic ep, I'm going to just stick to off-topic because that's what I do best. Wondering if any of y'all are also big Star Wars nerds, been loving the new Kenobi series. Knight, take it away.
Yes, I am here. But yeah, I love Star Wars, and yeah, I like the Kenobi series. It's been pretty good.
There we go.
Thumbs up
Awesome.
for me.
Thumbs up there.
I want to go see it. I haven't seen it yet, but yeah, haven't had a chance to watch it. But yeah, I've heard good things about it so far.
Awesome. And then in honor of episode 69, I'm going to skip the food questions this week and instead throw a little game that you all know and love at you. F, marry, kill, One Piece style. His answers are in the brackets. So F, marry, kill, Alvida, post Devil Fruit, Hina, Perona. He said F, Alvida, marry Hina, kill Perona. That's fucked. He's fucked up. I'll kill Alvida, I'll marry Perona, and I'll F Hina. That's what I'm gonna do.
FL Vita, marry Piranha, kill Hina.
There you go.
F Hina, marry Perona, kill Alvida.
Ooh, there we go. Next one. Baby 5, Hiyori Koala. So he's effing Baby 5, he's marrying Koala, he's killing Hiyori. Bruh. This guy's on demon time.
Crazy.
I actually agree with his answers for this one.
What? Why are we killing Hiyori? That's crap. That's mad.
Because I think Koala's definitely the marry for sure.
I agree with that.
And I think Baby 5 kind of crazy.
I'm okay.
I'm marrying Baby 5.
Yeah, I'm gonna swap Hiyori and Baby 5. I'll kill Baby 5 and I'll F Hiyori. But I'm marrying Koala because she seems she's got a good head on her shoulders. She knows what she's doing.
I'll kill Koala.
Yo!
Wow.
Damn.
Australia has enough of them.
That do be kind of facts. Alright. Bello Betty, Sadie, and Nojiko. He's effing Sadie, marrying Nojiko, and killing Bello Betty. I think I'd do the same.
Definitely marry Nojiko.
Yeah, I think that's the same.
Yeah, I'll just be different. I'll F Bello Betty and I'll kill Sadie.
Damn. It'd be like
I'll just
that
be different.
sometimes.
That's
He's
a hard
not
one,
into
This
BDSM.
one's crazy.
Oh, shit.
Giola, Suru, or Alvida pre-fruit. And he says, TBH, I don't know, lol. Probably F Alvida, marry Suru, and kill Giola. I think I'd probably do the same.
That's on gang.
That's on gang. I'd do the
Gotta
same
get
shit.
the gums out. Let's go.
Yes, fucking.
Suru, bro, marrying Suru and getting the gums whenever you want. That's you're G'd up. That's real shit, man. That's real shit. There we go. Are we all in the same book there?
Definitely marry
Yeah, I
Suru.
probably say the same.
F Alvida, marry Suru, kill Giola.
Yeah, Giola's too annoying.
Yeah, I agree. All right, we're all on the same page there. Well done, lads. Domino, Smoothie, and Pudding. He's effing Pudding, marrying Smoothie, killing Domino. I'd probably would I swap Smoothie and Pudding?
I'm gonna marry Pudding.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'd swap Smoothie and Pudding.
Actually,
Smoothie.
nah, Pudding kind of crazy. With that, you know, how she has like the different personality kind of thing.
Third eye type shit.
Oh, that would kind of annoy me. I think I'm gonna marry Domino.
We're killing Pudding.
Yep, fucking Smoothie.
Oh my!
Killing Pudding.
Flame ain't even here to defend himself. That's
No.
crazy.
No, that's
Pudding
fucking
too
go.
crazy for me.
I think I'd marry Pudding, F Smoothie, kill Domino. No, actually, you know what? You're right, Todd. I'll F Domino, marry Smoothie, kill Pudding. You know what? You're right.
I'm always right.
That's facts.
I'm not.
That's facts.
Marry Domino, fuck Pudding, kill Smoothie.
Damn.
All right, fair enough.
Man said step on me all the way back in there. Now he's
Yeah, he's taking that back.
he's taking that back.
And it depends.
That's true.
She's
that's
too
true.
big for me.
Hey, yo. let's do it.
Death by Snoo.
Hancock, Margaret, or Custard. He's effing Margaret, marrying Hancock, killing Custard. I'd do the same.
I agree.
Same.
All right,
Actually, you know what?
perfect.
No, other way around. Effing Hancock, marrying Margaret. Margaret's more caring.
Ooh, true, but I kind of get I want my hand cocked all the time. You know what I'm saying?
What was that?
I tried.
What the hell was
I
that?
really tried. I should have said I want my cock handed. That's all the time. That's what I should have said. All right. Next one. Yamato, Robin, Nami. F Yamato, marry
This is
Robin,
hard.
kill Nami. You know what? I'm killing Yamato.
Oh, wow.
I'm effing Nami. I'm marrying Robin. Marrying Robin's the only correct choice, I reckon.
Yeah, that's easy. Yeah,
That's free.
That's free.
It's just-
I'm
it's-
gonna
That's
be.
lots free.
I've got the controversial one here then.
Oh God, go.
Oh no.
Effing Nami, marrying Yamato, killing.
No,
Robin.
you're not. No, you're
Oh,
not.
you
No,
bastard.
you're not. You're
You
fired.
rat bastard.
You're actually fired.
You're fired.
You're fired.
I
You-
told you.
That's the way. That's the way it goes.
Oh
Giga
my!
chat.
Oh,
I
no.
can't. Don't you? No,
Oh,
that's
no.
no. You
You
know what?
are not a Giga
You know what?
Chat.
Just for that, I'm effing Nami. I'm marrying Robin, and I'm killing Yamato.
Well, it is what it is.
That's crazy. I never knew that I would end the episode hating Todd. Oh, that's good. All right, wrap it up. What are you doing? What's your decision?
I'm doing the same as Poppy.
Let's go. Me and Knight stand together.
Yeah, Fair.
Stand against this tyranny.
Yes, sir.
Wish you all the best, and again, thank you for the great work you put in and our viewing/listening pleasure. And Papi, if he doesn't see what a great guy you're actually missing out, I appreciate that, man. Much love as always, fellas. Your boy Cody in Canada. Thank you, Cody, and that's done. We're done. This episode was a lot longer than expected, as per usual, as pretty much every ep is, but we're out of here. As per usual, if you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you go down there, hit the subscribe button, helps out a great deal. Hit the like button as well, and comment with a timestamp of your favorite moment from today's episode on the YouTube side of things. And if you're there, you want to support us financially, please consider joining. There's a lot of different tiers, a lot of different price points, and we do greatly appreciate the support there. On top of that too, you can go into the description and go to our Linktree link. That is linktr.ee/goodgreatperfect. There you can find all of our social media platforms, our Twitter at GGP Podcast, and then our YouTube, obviously with Good Great Perfect there. And you can go find us on anchor.fm/Good Great Perfect as well, on a bunch of podcasting platforms, the main ones being Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts as well. Whilst you're also in the description, make sure you go find all of our social media links: Captain Papi, Nightmare JP, Toski, and Flamevius. Make sure you go sub, follow, and do all that kind of fun stuff as well. With that being said, gentlemen, I think that wraps up for episode 69. Nice episode, as it always is. I've been Captain Papi, Knight, and Todd. Thank you for listening to us next time. Peace.
Goodbye.
Bye.